Hang on. What did I?
5 fucking years ago.
All right, so Review Tech sexually assaulted someone, DSP
Yes.
Gaming.
He flagged you?
He flagged me? I didn't even know he flagged me. What did he flag? What video is that? The only reason I'm doing this here tonight is because this motherfucker has done this for 10 years. He's talked shit about me. 10 fucking years, and I held my tongue. So now it's time for my chance to finally vent on this guy. So now he gets it all tonight, and that's why we're doing this.
Hell yeah, man.
It is time for the first ever co-op react event. Live, we have thousands of viewers here lined up live. It's myself and these two gentlemen below, my guests from Kino Casino. Everyone, please give them a hearty welcome here tonight on stream. Gentlemen, how are you?
We are tremendous. So pleased to be in the court.
We're
of
not
King
worthy.
Dark Side Phil. None of us are worthy of the honor to touch the hem of your garment here in the castle of Kino, the Dark Side Phil React channel. So many glorious reacts that you've done here over the years. So many iconic internet moments on this channel alone, let alone all the other incredible channels in the Phil universe. We are so grateful and so honored to be a part, preserved for all time here on the Dark Side Phil React channel as we react to the felted bum dickers.
Oh,
he's getting a paddling. It's paddling time!
Paddle.
You might say, what on earth would bring these three guys together, right? Like, I mean, a couple weeks ago, I had barely even heard of Kino Casino. I didn't know anything about them. But, I mean, let's be honest, it's kind of fate, right? Because tonight we're going to be reacting to a documentary by Joon the King called A Rich History of Failure, covering the history of Review Tech USA here on YouTube. And boy, we couldn't be from more different positions. Okay, for me, I was the subject of this guy's bullying and ire on the internet for the greater part of a decade, despite the fact I don't know who the hell the guy was. And I tried to always kind of stay out of it. He always had my name in his mouth constantly. So now after 10 years of basically holding my tongue, finally tonight, the camera gets turned back on the bully, and we
tonight
get
the
to take a
bully
look.
becomes the bullied.
Oh,
the hunter becomes the hunted. He thought that he was, you know, he thought he was picking on somebody weaker than him. It was through the grace and the benevolence and the mercy and the maturity of one Philip Burnell here that you weren't destroyed years ago. Philip could have at any time crushed you like the worm that you are, but he was magnanimous. He was merciful.
Too nice.
He reached out to you when your family had a medical emergency. And how did you repay that kindness?
Spit on him.
With treachery. You disgusting worm dickers. Shame on you. We spit on you for your disrespect to the king, your treason against his royal majesty's business.
Now, here's the thing. You guys could arguably be credited with the reason why this documentary on Rich was made to begin with, because you guys covered him. I mean, Rich has been around for a long time, just like me. I've been around 16 years. He's roughly been around the same length of time on YouTube. But for some odd reason, despite the years of his behavior, the weird things he does, the guy never had the light brought on him. It was like he makes fun of everyone else, but no one ever was looking at this guy. Why? I just don't get it.
Well, bomb. That's
I was
why.
telling
He's low energy, uninteresting, stoned out of his mind, looking like a giant panda.
Well,
this is what he is. Whereas you're an entertainer. You're a showman. You're charismatic. So there's a reason you captured the fascination of the public. You're a phenomenon.
True.
A phenomenon, so to speak, right?
But yo, it's so true.
A boring slug.
Yo, Ashton, because it's true. Because Ashton brought like Review Tech to our show, and I was watching him like, why? Like what? And he's like, trust me. The whole chat was like, I don't get it, Ash. What? And you were like, guys, when we uncover what I'm about to show you, you'll understand. And then as the episodes went through, we're like, he's actually evil. Doxing, threatening children, going after...
Trying to blackmail 16-year-olds into doing his bidding. He has a Discord server full of unspeakable evil, lolicon in it.
Let's preface this by saying a couple things that should be important to call out before we begin, because already we're saying stuff about the guy and we haven't even begun with the documentary, right?
True.
So number one, anything that is said in this stream or in this on-demand video is representative of our individual takes and opinions. Just because I say something doesn't mean that it represents what they mean. They say something doesn't mean I represent. We all are individuals. We're intelligent adults, and we're saying things for what we believe for ourselves. Please don't try to do that bullshit. Oh, well, he said that on a stream you were on, so now you say
exactly.
Get the hell out of here.
Said that.
Right?
No, we speak for each other, and we don't necessarily co-sign what each other says.
Exactly. Okay. Number two, please. Despite the fact that we're here to have fun tonight, okay? That's what it is. We're here to razz Rich, all right? None of us here tonight on this video wish pain or suffering or physical harm to Rich. Please do not go harass this man as a result of things we do in this video. I don't condone that.
Don't harass him.
Don't do that, all right? This is enough harassment to make this video. We don't have to go after the guy and everything else.
Exactly.
This isn't harassment.
This is justice.
This is justice. This is equal.
justice.
This is equal opportunity razzing. For
hang on.
so long, he turned it upon others. Now it's being turned on him. And it's like, oh, no, please.
But beyond that.
It's your turn, Dickers.
He watches you every night, Phil. His life is watching. Whenever you open it, he's watching you stoned out of his mind for like 6 hours straight every night and harassing you. You at least are like, guys, don't harass him. He didn't care about that. He was happy to see you in pain. He was happy to spit on you and walk over you when you were at your lowest. He was fine with it. And every day, guys, look, I'm not Phil. I'm not Phil. I'm not Phil.
And
this is the payback.
Still, after all of that, Phil makes sure that everything is just right and nobody goes too far.
Exactly.
What a merciful, wonderful man Phil is.
Because here's the
Phil
deal.
could just unleash it. You know?
I've been the victim, all right, of this kind of behavior before. And even though everyone should have equal opportunity to be talked about, ridiculed on the internet because you chose to put yourself out there, you don't take it to the next level. Everyone knows it's just supposed to be jokes. Sadly, there's people out there who don't know that line and they cross it, and that's when it gets too dangerous, and we do not condone that action. We're about to start, but I have something that I'd like to introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight only, I present to you the briefcase. What's in the briefcase?
What's the case?
Well, it fell.
It's
Hold
like
on.
Pulp Fiction.
It's okay. Watch. Guys, guess.
Yes. What could be in the briefcase? That magnificent Phil, phenomenal Phil has brought forward.
In the casino of life, you start full of chips, right? Where everyone walks in fully loaded, but over time, you mess up. And every time you mess up, you'll lose some of your chips. Tonight, as we go through the Review Tech documentary by Joon the King, we're going to see the times in history that Rich screwed up. And every time he made a mistake, oops, he's going to lose some chips. At what point will Rich be felted? Let's find out here live tonight on DSP Reacts.
Wait, Phil, may I say one thing? Take out some chips now, because right now it's time, right?
Start.
Just us being on stream.
Just being
true. That's
Just
true.
a little bit of a foul.
We got to take a little bit. We got to take a little.
Desperate for it to not happen.
Our first stack.
Here it is.
Being removed.
Oh no!
It hurts.
Tough, Dickers.
By the way,
look
at how happy he was at the beginning of his career, putting nice pictures like this on Facebook and everything. Remember when he used to look like that?
Yeah,
I know. But I wonder what he's going to look like by the end. I guess we'll find out. Well, all right, I think we can get started.
Yes, okay. I'll be controlling this over on my end here. Ashton has also put in the folder there some supplement material that we feel needs to be included that wasn't in the documentary for some context and some more Feltonings.
At various times when it's related to what's going on in the documentary, we might introduce a clip here and there just to give you guys a fuller, wider perspective, add a little bit more onto the documentary than any other React is going to have. But with all that out of the way, let's get some donos and let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right.
Here we go.
So here we go, everyone. Review Tech USA, Joon the King. By the way, everyone, go over to Joon King's channel, hit like on his video, watch it on your own time, and spread the word.
Already doing really well, by the
US
way, the video. Like outstanding viewership. There was over 8,000 live viewers when it premiered today. I think it has almost 200,000 views already. It's going to be really successful for him. So good for him.
Yours truly is in the video a few times. Let's go. All right. Here we go.
Today is a tragic case. One of instability where both ends of the emotional spectrum play against him.
Because you're dumb and your kids will be dumb.
Okay, that.
So that moment there comes from when Rich became political, which was a very poor decision on Rich's part.
You don't come to a stream for someone else's baggage.
By the way, there's the big tough guy, the big bully who goes after Phil, goes after other people, talks of shit. There he is crying like a little girl, crying like a little bitch because things on the internet didn't go his way, because he refused to pay his editor what he agreed to pay him, and people held him accountable. It's his only recourse is to cry like a big bald baby.
Well, let's be fair. The worst thing that happens to Rich is when he runs out of food.
Oh, man.
Indeed.
When he runs
Come on
out,
now.
there's tears.
You know what I mean?
These extreme reactions are coming out at the lowest point of his channel, which previously released
Did you see that?
highly
It's
relevant,
a downward spiral, much like his mental health. His analytics are going straight down the toilet. Suffer, dickers.
Stop.
effort videos taking service-level glances at gaming news or subjects parallel to gaming.
I love
Though
that.
this is no longer
Surface level takes. Just so true. Just giving him no respect. His decade of content, his legacy. All it was him just reading articles other people wrote and then giving the lamest, most basic lukewarm take. Isn't that right, Phil?
The first time I heard about this guy, someone had said to me, he's talking shit about you. I said, who? And I went and checked his channel, Review Tech USA. I'm like, where's the review of tech? There's nothing. This is all him reading news articles, or it's like drama, like TMZ shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is this relevant to even his name on YouTube? It's like a misnomer, right? Like he's trying to fool you into thinking he's one thing and he's another. And I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't understand why, you know, he changed. Was he ever a reviewer of tech? You know, and all he does is just read other people's stories and gives his take. Why is this getting 1 million subs?
What's sad about it is, like, there are applications, and he's admitted to using them, that just give you the news articles of the day. So he had them. He didn't even have to be an editor.
Even me, the guy who everyone
topics.
claims is the laziest dude on the planet. I sift through a bunch of stories in the morning to try to find ones that are going to be appropriate to my audience. A gaming article, something about pop culture we've been talking about recently. I don't just pull the fucking news off of an app and just slap it on my stream and just read it. You know?
Well, no, it's exactly. And he just, because he had no passion about it, it wasn't things he really cared about. That's why he found it difficult to keep it up over the years and got disillusioned, because he was just a slop maker. There's no love.
He was wrong about most of his takes. He would always have a take. Everyone would yell at him, and he has to make a video apologizing and doing the counter the take every time. And he was called out by Sony's president.
That, right? So that was part of his grift. You give this take that's obviously wrong, then you flip-flop and apologize, and you get to make money off the other
Off
side.
the apology, exactly right.
You make
Two
money off
videos.
the apology, right?
Mhm.
So this is just the way he conducted business for so long, and people go, there's no talent to this. There's no art to this. This isn't like Dark Side Phil cultivating a community over 15 years through original content and commentary. This is just an absolute bozo stealing content, repackaging it as his own. It's like a baby bird regurgitating.
Now Rich's focus is on streaming and producing music to little avail. He's either too subdued by intoxicants or dead air on awkward
Yeah,
pauses.
echoes. That's great. You did an echo
He
effect.
lost some more chips there, I think. But he
Stop getting
streams
high.
on intoxicants.
He got a burn. He got an echo
I
burn
love how
effect on
he's-
it. That was great.
He's highlighting this. This is a genuine supporter of Rich. You can tell. Rich, I'm not trolling when I say you need to pull it together. Stop getting high on your streams. Make them more organized and focused. Start actually making content with higher production value.
Wow.
This is the thing. Who else? Because he considers this his job. Who else is allowed to show up to their job high?
Right?
You know?
It's True.
Who else is able to just, oh, you know what? I'm just
shot
gonna take, and not just even to smoke like a joint or something
or a
like that,
bowl or
or
whatever.
a bong
Yeah.
hit.
Well,
He's
this is the
taking
difference.
medical grade edibles every day. Go ahead.
Some people take it seriously, and some people act like, well, it's my hobby, but because I'm doing it publicly, pay me for my hobby. And that's what it is for him.
Yes.
Just pay me for my hangout session instead of pay me for work. Listen, you got to put in the work if you're expecting to get compensation for it.
And that's the thing. You work 6 days a week, much like our Heavenly Father, our Creator, who worked 6 days and rested the one. You follow that model, Phil.
Yes, exactly.
You follow that model, 6 days of work, 1 day of rest, highly biblical and righteous, the way you have that work ethic. Whereas Rich, you'd be lucky if you get one stream a week out of him, and he shows up high.
Well,
And he can't even open his eyes. Look at his eyes. They're
there's no
closed.
segment. There's no segments. It's him sitting there stoned as hell. There's no even work.
What do you mean
when
there's
he is
no
streaming.
segment? There's the Phil segment.
Oh,
There's
Right.
the one and only
One
segment.
Phil.
That's it.
He has the Phil segment.
The one
Now,
return segment.
Has he edited it down? Has he created his own edited Phil?
They clipped it or whatever.
No,
No.
he's just
Wow.
stolen whatever duties put up or whatever creator has put up their edited Phil.
Streams are sober and anxious, lashing out at those he feels have wronged him, like his former editor, Jay.
You're the sidekick everywhere you go. You couldn't cut it. That's why you became my editor.
Rich's self-destruction has also unearthed a history of
That's
doxing.
sick, you know? The way he talks about a guy who he was friends with for 15 years, who did all that work for him, who filled in for him while his daughter was sick in the hospital. And he, you know, that's how he talks about that guy, by the way.
Oh, look at that room. That's like
That's his early room? Oh,
dark
well-
web, like murdering people room.
What's
you know?
funny is, no, his early room is his current room because it was always in his parents' house.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it because I don't know any of
History
this.
of-
Let's get into it.
Doxing. Poor research that at one point had the former president of Sony called him stupid, and a history of lies and drama that were almost forgotten, but are coming back to form a rich history of failure.
Rich history.
Yes. Now, to
In
be
late
fair,
2009,
I did contact Joon. I said you should have called it the rich taste of failure and showed him sucking a cucumber, but he didn't go for that one. All right. This was a pretty good second runner-up title. I think.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
saw
He
it.
was keeping it a little bit more PG, you know.
A channel named Review Tech USA began uploading. This was Rich Masucci's, an American man with a tech background, second attempt at
Oh, hold
YouTube.
on, pause.
Uploaded.
No. June the King just doxed Rich publicly on the internet. He put his full name out there. That's unacceptable. Oh, wait, that's what LTG would say. Sorry about that. We can continue now.
Oh, there.
Oh, crushed.
It was a video.
Crushed by the
For
king.
those who don't know, that actually happened. June did a documentary on Low Tier God, and he claimed it was doxing him to put his legal name on the internet.
You know, I
Okay.
see a lot of people in chat are saying Rich lives with his parents. Question mark. We'll get into that.
It's going to be in this, I'm sure, yes.
Yeah, we have an extended cut of it, actually part of our folder. So,
Okay.
Video after video
what's that video he blurred out? I don't even. That's scary.
Oh, boy.
of video game consoles spanning virtually all console generations, from the Atari 2600 to the then modern Xbox 360. These were off the cuff, simple overviews of the consoles were Rich of Review Tech USA.
He reviewed tech.
Wow.
At one
Whoa.
time, unbeknownst to anybody, because it was 16 years ago, he did, in fact, at one point review tech. Wow.
Yeah.
Often interjected his own stories with the devices. The same could be said about his other videos that range widely on topics. This one was playing into a stereotype that women enjoy being on the phone longer. This video, though titled Is Steve Jobs Dying, was really about Rich's experience with Apple products and the history of Apple.
That was his first clickbait. Like,
Yeah.
Is Steve
Wait.
Jobs dying?
Blatant clickbait.
Though-
Wow.
It's like-
It's just full-on clickbait. It's
And it
what he's
earned him a
always
whopping
done.
9,000 views. I mean, it was worth it, man.
Totally worth throwing all his credibility down the river and being known as a clickbait artist from that point on. It was totally worth it, wasn't it, Dickers?
Oh.
Those looking to find facts would scarcely find it on this channel. This could work to Rich's
What a
benefit.
thing to say! People who were looking for facts would scarcely find it on this channel.
Wow.
That's another felt there for Dickers. Straight up. You can tell Joon has zero respect for Revich. Like, you can just tell by the way he's saying
Yeah,
stuff.
some chips, take a little bit of chips. I thought like a 2 or 3 chips.
Yeah,
down
for
to the-
sure. I mean,
that's
listen,
a couple chip
you got to think of
removal.
it this way. If you're going to name yourself something, you're now stuck with that forever. So
Yeah.
if you're going to be a content creator, either be prepared to make that content or else don't name yourself that. I mean, I have a generic name, Dark Side Phil. No, it does, I mean, yeah, it kind of sounds like Star Wars, but no one comes to my channel looking for Star Wars. Like, oh, what's this guy all about? If I named myself Game Reviewer Connecticut, people would come, oh, it's game reviews from a guy in Connecticut. I mean, use your fucking head.
Exactly. Yeah.
Benefit. While he was not very keen
By the way, even for a tech reviewer, it's a terrible name. Review Tech USA. It sounds like a corporation or something.
And I
nor
love how he always has to be introduced as Rich of Review Tech USA, even though there's no one else that works at Review Tech USA, nor has there ever been. Like,
Right.
okay.
knowledgeable of the products he was reviewing, he was very opinionated and confident in what he was saying. This means he had much to say and many videos to make, evident by his catalog. And after about a year or so of content creation, his beliefs had become established. Rich was a fan of console gaming, believing it was superior because of its ease of access and affordability against PC's customizability that also lends to its complexity. Taking a side in this never-ending debate meant that his opinions resonated with those that preferred consoles, and those audience members would become easier fans of Rich. But the same could be said about the opposition, all of which could be found inhabiting the same tech space. Blackbuster Critic, or BBC for short, was a creator that pushed
Or BBC for short.
BBC for short.
See? Now there's a name that works, right?
It all adds up.
Wow.
PC gaming over consoles. This, in late 2010, eventually led to a light feud between the two, and an online debate hosted by the BBC.
So I'll let you have the post first, or the stand, or the soapbox, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and then we'll go from there.
What do you want me to talk about first?
State the case of why, PC gaming is superior for everybody.
After about an hour-long debate, Rich concedes.
I'll be the first to admit that he owned me.
Oh no!
Dickens, you were owned by the BBC.
I mean, he's not doing too good. We just started, and as you can see, out of his 4 stacks of chips, he's already halfway done with one of the stacks.
Yeah, it's not going so good, is it?
Oh, Roy.
No. Oh man.
All right,
I'm saying it. I'm the man right here saying it. So, you all have a good holiday. And I will, even though I am owned, I will still put this video up on my YouTube channel because they wouldn't be right of me not to do it. So,
And he has to upload his failure. Yes, I'll upload this.
Well,
too.
many times he's forced to just hold that L in the most brutal of ways. Just ram it down his throat. Take
You're
it.
gonna upload your L,
Take
right?
that BBC L, Rich.
At least I will give him some credit. He did upload it, right? It's public. That's and I come from a Street Fighter background, right? Win, lose, you always fess up if you won or lost. Like I had some rivalries with guys back in the early YouTube days, and one guy I beat and one guy I didn't. But all that footage went live. You got to take your licking. So at least your lickings. You got to take your licks. So at least I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the cucumber.
He's licking that BBC.
Exactly. At least he did upload it. I'll give him that. So I will take this one chip. I will place one chip back inside the briefcase because he did actually
How
upload.
fair.
He uploaded his
merciful
fail.
fate.
There you go.
That's a wise decision, sire.
a good one, man. It was great talking with you.
While things were cordial between BBC and Rich, they were not exactly friendly. At least not in the same sense of the channels that were promoting Rich's channel on their own YouTube pages like 3 Kilobytes, specifically Mike and Jay.
And I'm Jason for 3 Kilobytes. My last name is Hoof, and I like to build houses in Minecraft.
Whenever Rich hit a milestone, like a subscriber goal or obtaining YouTube partnership, which meant he could earn ad revenue from his YouTube videos, he made sure to thank these channels.
They've helped me out big time, especially Jay. I communicate with him the most, and thank you so much, man. Honestly, the reason I hit 1,000 subs, the second half of it is mostly due to his help. And of course, as
Just thinking about that Jay really helped him from the very beginning of his career.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have really gotten any traction at all by Rich's own admission if it hadn't have been from Jay from 3 Kilobytes helping him.
Wow.
So I did find that interesting.
And then in hindsight, I'm gonna destroy your career. You won't work in this town again. Like, you know what I mean? No gratitude at all.
Saying,
Really
what did he
sick.
say at the beginning? He was like, "Oh, you could never be successful" and stuff like that. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
you are the success. He worked for you. That's why you're
Yeah.
successful. And you say stuff like that.
I honestly had no idea that Review Tech knew Jay this early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Many-
that until today. Yeah.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
If you know, because probably like 80% of the subscriptions have been from them, is 3 kilobytes. All of them, of course, but especially Jay and Mike. Honestly, my channel is where it is.
Wait, so 80% of his subs at that time, he got off 3 kilobytes. So that was like the real starting of his career or whatever.
Because a lot of because of what
Let's just see how he repays that generosity and that
yeah.
loyalty, right?
Exactly.
Jay,
This is gonna be
Mike,
this is
and
gonna be a
Kevin.
ride down memory lane for me because I was a YouTuber at this time and I'm remembering 3 kilobytes. I remember these channels. It's like, how does this tie into his story? This is gonna be interesting.
I actually hung out with Jay back in the day during this time because I reacted to one of their videos and he was, so
Done
it
to
is
promote.
it is like old YouTube, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
By 2011, things were going well for Rich. Not only was he earning some revenue from his channel, he was remaining somewhat consistent and fair with his losses, going as far to release a video titled "I Can't Defend Consoles Anymore."
Right now, folks, I know a lot of people are going to jump below and write comments saying they can't build a PC, or it's too hard, or it's too technical. No, it's not.
This was inspired by the infamous hacking
By the
of the
way, like,
PlayStation Network.
What a silly take to do in the first place. I can't defend consoles anymore. Well, there are exclusives on consoles, right? Like especially back at that time, there were a lot more exclusives for consoles, and there's just something to be said about that ease of use.
Right.
That you just plug it in, it works, you put the disc in, it plays the game. Nowadays,
There's nothing wrong with arguing that either a console or a PC is better, but it's situational. Each has its own unique pros and cons. That's why the debate has been for so long. There's no definitive answer that one is always better than the other. You know, I'm someone I've had gaming PCs, I've had consoles, I've used consoles for 10 years, but now I have a gaming PC and I love it. So, you know, I get it. I get both sides. That was silly to put himself into that argument, but you know what? Because he was trying to get controversy. That's why do you think he wanted that debate? To get him more attention.
Exactly, and that's the whole reason why he made that video, changing his view on the first place. He's like, oh, it's so shocking, he changed his mind on it, and then he's get people to click on it.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not motivated by what his true opinion is, it's motivated by what opinion he thinks will get him the most clicks.
Exactly.
Network that effectively brought the online services down for months. Though he did not abandon the videos on the debate, as this was still one of the largest draws of his channel. These were alongside clickbait videos that were presented outwardly
12 years ago, by the way. Just look at that.
of his
You
channel.
gotta watch this video.
These were
Game consoles have 1 generation left. Like, what a title, you know? Like, it's over.
It's like, by the way, we're at 2 generations from that point on already.
He is the master of doing this. Well, again, the first time I ever heard about this guy, someone says, you got to go check it out. Did you see the video he made about you? I go to his channel. This was like 9 years ago, right? Title of the video, Dark Side Phil is dying. Look at the plummet of his business. I was like, what the f is this guy? Why is he saying this shit about me? I'm fine. My business isn't dying. Like, what is he even, you know, because, you know, at one point.
That's be a take that aged the most poorly of any take ever.
Yeah.
You're one of the longest running channels out there. But go ahead, Phil.
It must be the most prolonged death ever if I'm truly dying. It's been 9 ongoing years. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
alongside clickbait videos that were presented outwardly as his research, to then be revealed that Rich was reading from a singular article while interjecting some of his opinions.
So he just steals one article, not even like multiple like articles and research. No, just one article.
His channel covered a wide range of topics, now even adapting the commentary tropes of the time, like commentary over footage of an unrelated game. Because of the undistilled nature of this channel, his views were hardly consistent. Most videos hovered around 5,000, but some reached hundreds of thousands of views. With Rich increasing his output to now nearly a video a day in late 2012, his views were slowly but surely starting to pick up. Being that he did a face reveal that same year meant that in 2013 he did not shy away from creating vlogs. but Rich was unsatisfied with the equipment he was using. The camera specifically was not HD.
Yo, have you seen this video of him walking around like a Walmart? It's like the back rooms. It's so creepy. Like no one's in the mall. Like it's really, really weird.
And had a very low frame rate. And if
Andy,
he did
do
make
you
more...
Do you have that video?
I sent you. Yeah, I just sent it to you over
Okay.
there on yours.
Yeah.
This is a video, Phil. I hate to interject just a couple things, but this is very interesting. This is a video that Rich has tried to bury, that Joon didn't actually even include in this documentary, that we just saw a little snippet of, that I think it's important to show people. This is Review Tech USA in Walmart. He's in like 2011, 2012, right? Got a camcorder walking around Walmart, filming people. And he's filming one person in particular here that I find... Whoa. So we're about to experience some real transphobia here from Rich of Review Tech USA.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
I just, LGBT viewers of Rich, be warned. This is a trigger warning. Very strong transphobia here. We have Rich stalking a trans woman through Walmart, filming them and shaming them. Look at this.
Stockings.
Oh my God, it's so creepy.
This is dark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at how close he's getting to them.
This is the kind of shit when the FBI raids the house and is looking for evidence and they find a phone.
Yeah.
This is the kind of videos they find on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
what
It's
the
like-
hell?
Isn't he like
Very
a
Buffalo
stalker?
Bill.
And he's talking about them like just mere feet away from them with a camera, like following them around. Though I just want to point out how disgusting what Rich just did there. This is a person, and this is in a time where there was not a lot of support for the trans community, right? And this is somebody that worked up the courage to present the way they wanted to present and to live their life without fear. And they go out and they try and live their truth. And then you've got this fat piece of garbage waddling around behind them, filming them, making fun of them, exposing them to their audience to be made fun of. And this could shatter this person's confidence. It could cause them to no longer want to present in the way they feel like they are. And, that's a real shame, isn't it? But that's the sort of person Rich is.
I don't even understand it. Like, what's the joke here? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not.
He
there's
just
no point to
uploaded that
doing
video, like individually, 20 seconds. Imagine one day you're sub to Review Tech USA. 20 seconds is uploaded. It was that video.
Yeesh.
All right.
For vlog-style videos, he can negate the possibility of copyright claims that came from using gameplay footage. What Rich wanted was a new high-definition camera. This is what inspired the video I Need Your Help, which has long since been removed from his channel but archived third-party compilations that demonstrate how catastrophic not so much this video was, but the endless responses and poor handling of what should have been a simple situation.
No, really.
Yes, I know I'm going to be called an e-beggar.
Pause.
No,
So, Phil, if you needed money for a new camera, what would you do? Wouldn't you just ask for the money?
Well, I mean, yeah, if it's something that's directly for the business, I would. In fact, let me put it this way. There are things that I've wanted to upgrade, but I tell people I'm not even going to put it upon you guys because I know that you guys are so generous already. I don't want to ask more of you. If anyone wants to donate, by all means, but I'm not going to sit here and run a marathon to try to raise money for a specific component because I think that's asking too much of people who already give me a good living.
I know.
You know what I
You
mean?
just stream, right? Just stream, work, and then eventually you'll save enough to buy the camera, right?
Get ready
Well,
for this
get ready for what-
convoluted scheme from Rich.
Yeah, and we have an actual add-on to this that wasn't. I'm in the doc, but watch this.
no matter what I say. But I'm doing this with a twist that no one else has done because I don't just want your friggin' money. I really don't. I honestly don't.
Yeah, no, he definitely doesn't want your money. He's just gonna ask for your money.
A twist.
You
I'm going to
know?
put you in a series of saw-like traps to save your life if you don't pay me for this camera. He sounds like a fucking supervillain or something. What's he talking about?
What do I need? I need a camcorder for the show, straight up. Using gameplay footage, I'm constantly dealing with getting copyright claims on my videos.
Rich goes on to explain how he would avoid the title e-beggar by donating the $500, which is the amount he was seeking for the camcorder, a year after he receives the funds to a charity of his audience choice. What's more, if the donation goal is exceeded, he will refund any of that excess money.
Thoughts, Phil?
So he's gonna do a fundraiser to get a camera. That's directly what it is. He's gonna buy the camera.
Yeah.
He's gonna use that camera to make content. The content will then raise the $500 back, and he will donate the $500 to charity. That's what he's saying.
And then also refund every cent that anyone donated back to them at the end of the year also.
So instead of doing that, why not just save $500 and buy the camera? Why do you have to do a fundraiser?
Exactly.
It's even worse, Phil.
Or
it's even worse.
Why didn't he put it on layaway?
No,
or
wait.
buy it on credit and pay it back?
He did. See, in the doc, he missed this part. But we watched the video. It was him versus Blackbuster, right? He ended up taking the $500, not using the camera at all.
Oh, hold on. Isn't Joon going to say this?
No, it's not this. But we found it like the other day. He sells the camera for money to buy a Wii U. And then we find out that he didn't even his second Wii U, and he didn't even buy the camera with the 500. He had it on layaway. That's a scam and a half. But it wasn't even in this. But we found out the other day. So yeah.
This is overly complicated.
Scams.
Even for 2013 YouTube, that was less accepting of creators petitioning for money or earning it through sponsorships. The depths that Rich was going to just avoid being called an e-beggar, something only the smallest sections of his audience would even care.
This is the thing, is nobody actually really did truly care.
Yeah.
If he opened a Patreon or if he did directly ask for money. But he had this weird complex in his mind that he needed to pander to a vocal minority that hated him anyway, rather than just having the balls and confidence to go after what he wanted and ask for what he wanted. You know, back then, there were a lot of people getting in trouble for e-begging, right? But like, at least Amazing Atheist had the balls to straight up say, I need money for a computer. Give me money for this computer. He didn't try and couch it as that he was better than other e-beggars or he was better than other people who was raising money. And by the way, it's just very rich for Rich, of all people, to be doing this sort of thing when he tries to call you an e-beggar and other people who made money online through tips e-beggars for years, when he was just as guilty of these supposed principle violations.
Yeah. It seems like he's against it, but he knows he has to do it. But then you have to accept it, right? Either if you know you need to take money in from your audience in order to continue to operate your business, you either accept it or you say, I'm just not going to do it. Don't make the most convoluted flowchart, weird design of a program in your mind that you think will get you out of it. No, you're asked for the money. Now you are that. Like, just accept it.
He wants to do it and not get criticized for it.
Exactly.
And that's just never going to work. You know?
Expose that as an insecurity and point that he could easily be.
Remove chips, everyone's saying, by the way.
Okay.
Yes,
He scammed the camera. He bought the Wii U, sold, didn't use it. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
The only people that pissed me off, even though I expected it, is when people said they donated, and I would see like the same small group of trolls like going around and attacking people.
It did not take long for Rich to get that money via donations. He even bought a cheaper camera that was about $140 less than expected. But he made the mistake of addressing the trolls and the BBC.
So I went out and
the BBC, I love he says
a new tool. A Sony HDR 260V. And let me tell you right now, it is a phenomenal camera. And I bought this with my own money. How about
that?
That was the Blackbuster. King, what a legend. I miss Blackbuster.
I know.
Did you ever watch any of his videos, Phil?
No, I didn't know about this guy. That's
he was
stuff.
Oh, you're missing out. Sometime when you have some spare time, watch some of this guy's old videos. They're so funny. his guidelines to being a customer series where he talks about his time working at Blockbuster was great. He was awesome.
So BBC here never even said his name. He never said Rich, never said Review Tech, but watch this.
While he did not mention Rich or Review Tech USA by name, he did expose the criticisms that he knew bothered Rich. This was bait, and Rich readily took it.
It's your old buddy Rich from Review Tech USA or Review Bag USA. You've had some colorful things to say about me. Let's just do it the good old-fashioned way and debate it live on Skype and see how it goes. The offer's on the table, buddy. Hopefully you accept.
Not only did Rich flub this situation by taking the bait, he also challenged the BBC to a debate, which the BBC readily accepted.
What I said could be applied to a lot of people, but this one particular person personally came to my video and was talking trash. And if you want to come out and Skype me and debate like you say you do, and I know plenty of things, plenty of questions to ask you, which you're going to goof up on. Just like in our last debate, how I led you by the hand like a child encountering your own points. That's what's going to happen again.
Wow. This debate did not come as Rich failed to show. But he did release a video showing that he did.
Surprise!
Wait a minute.
What a surprise. Go ahead, Phil.
Wait a minute. That's it. That's the end of his first stack of chips. There's no way you don't show up. You didn't even
showed the debate after talking all that shit.
Yeah.
He did multiple videos calling him out.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Blockbuster Critic never even mentioned his name. The guilty party revealed themselves.
That's the big line.
They felt attacked. They felt they were guilty of it. It's tough.
That's tough.
We are what? 15, 20 minutes into this thing? Not even? 10? 10 minutes in.
10 minutes in.
Rich has lost an entire stack of chips. Hopefully there's a dead air segment of him sitting there saying nothing for an hour, or else we're going to be out of chips really fast.
Wow.
I mean, this is pretty crazy.
It wouldn't be the first time for him.
Wow. Exactly.
Purchased
Okay.
Camcorder and did not pocket the donations. While the BBC continued to respond, what was more important was that Rich's responses and continually addressing this drama was inviting more and more trolls that Rich was responding to.
Master Flex, everyone out there who's deeply concerned about what I'm doing, you need to, don't go into the whole thing.
The problem that Rich had. Yeah, go ahead.
What? Didn't he buy a good camera? What the hell is this being recorded on right now? He bought the camera, right?
Oh, at this, he was at the gym actually.
So he didn't bring the camcorder with him, even though he intended on using it, right? Instead, he's using, I think it was a Sony Flip.
Oh, or the Flip. You remember that?
Sony Flip.
Wow.
But this is the problem that Rich had was people realized every single time you would say something about him, he would react to it. No matter how silly it was or outrageous, he would just take the bait. Much like is one of the big criterias of being a lolcow is responding to everything, not being able to ignore anything.
This is still what, 2012? 12-ish? Yes. Okay, I will say this. I also have been around as long as Review Tech, and I will admit, because I don't want to play the hypocrite here. Yes, also at this era, this was a new thing. Like this whole drama content, baiting other creators and stuff was becoming prominent on YouTube, and a lot of people took the bait. I also took the bait. You're going to see a documentary coming out about me later this month. There was a lot of that kind of stuff back then, and I'll admit that I got hooked too. But I learned my lesson over the years, and I learned to ignore this stuff. But
King Phil taking the bait, never, Majesty. Thou would never take the bait of a filthy troll.
Same here.
You always stay above the fray.
The thing is, back then, there wasn't a track record of how to operate, how to conduct yourself to be a content creator. You didn't have people who had failed yet, so you didn't know what to do and what not to do. And sometimes you think, oh, I'm the big shit. I'll just take on every comer and I'll talk shit. And then stuff like this would blow up in your face. So.
Yeah.
It was awesome, though, being like that and taking on all comers. You were a fucking king for years, Phil. You would just take on anybody, anywhere, any place, anytime. And you're so funny. We were watching you respond to Xbox friend requests the other day.
boy.
I never laughed so hard.
It was
F you. Bye. No. F you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Best one was the kid who I told him, contact me when your balls drop, and then I'll talk back to you.
every person sending you a voice message was a kid for some reason.
Yeah, nonstop, you know?
But none of them would listen to the king's direction not to send random friend requests, and then they wondered why they got ignored and shot upon. Unbelievable.
It's so jokes.
I'm just mind messing with you. You personally messaged me, told me to calm down. It's flattering, bro. It really is. I'm glad, just make a video once in a while proving that you have a life and put it.
I just wanted to say on what we were saying last, that's how all the detractors were born.
Yeah.
You ignored their friend request on Xbox Live, and then
detractor.
Detractor.
Women in your thumbnail, and we'll all be impressed by what you do.
Even the videos showing the receipts for the donations were directed towards his trolls rather than his supporters.
All I can say is, I'll never do it again. I mean, I hope this proves now that I wasn't trying to, scam anybody or do anything under the table. Or
He only sent 300. So he raised 500 and sent 300 to the charity? But I thought it was 500.
Right.
be unethical. And for everyone out there who's going to go into the whole thing now that I was just looking to get a tax break on my taxes, do you really think I didn't even think of that until after people said it. Do you really think I would have went through all this crap to save 30 or 40 bucks over a year from now?
Would he extend that level of faith or charity to you, Phil, about anything in your life?
Of course not. For him, again, to make his content, he always has to assume the most vile thing about a situation and portray it as fact. His opinion, which is fact because he says it to his audience, now everyone believes it, right?
And he just expects people to just trust him, believe him. Guys, come on. But that's not the standard he applies to others.
Right.
It turned out that Rich owning this new camcorder and all the turmoil that Rich invited was for naught.
I like the gameplay footage better. It's more laid back. But like 90% of people in the comment section were like, yeah, just, keep it gameplay footage and use the camera for other things with Review Tech USA.
Let's just be honest. No one wants to see his face. They're like,
I think that's the definitive moment Review Tech USA died, was when he showed his face.
Yeah.
I remember all of my friends in high school were like, "Oh, did you see Rich's face reveal?" He has got to be one of the most disgusting human beings I have ever seen from a physical appearance standpoint. And then he'll have the balls to talk about other people's appearances.
Exactly. Like, if you're going to criticize someone else, just be sure that you're not also in that category. And I don't think he has the right to criticize other people's looks. I just, sorry. Listen, I call myself an ugly monster all the time, but you don't hear me standing here also insulting other people's looks either. Like, why?
I watched him 3 days ago, Phil, making fun of you for balding when he's bald.
Yeah, he's completely bald. Completely bald, but I'm the one,
Norwood Reaper,
but again,
this or that.
You know why? Because he's jealous. Because I'm not completely bald. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly. You still have your hair. Dude. And might I say, Your Majesty, it is thick. It is luscious hair.
Yeah,
wonderful.
The hair that I have is like nice. I admit. I condition and wash it every day. Very nice,
What's your routine? Do you use any particular sort of shampoo?
I have several hours laid out every morning to condition and wash the royal hair. Of course, at first you start with a rare camel's milk that must be ingrained into the strands. No, I just use like Head and Shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, and you also changed your shirt. He wears the same 2 shirts every time. Oh my God!
The mental health awareness.
The mental health.
Because basically his streams are a PSA for mental health awareness.
Wow.
It's like, all right, you want to go to a doctor? All right.
Okay.
This information came from a video where Rich announced that YouTube was now his full-time job. Though it grew steadily for the past 3 years, it was not until now that his YouTube channel was outperforming his job in terms of pay. And with all his time placed in his channel, the results were immediate. Month after month, his views kept doubling as his output of videos increased like never before. Everything increased. His revenue, his views, and the trolls that increasingly targeted Rich.
Okay, real quick, below is my Real Review Tech USA Twitter account. I don't even really like Twitter, but what I found out in my YouTube comment section is someone made a fake Review Tech USA account and was going around saying very, very colorful things on Twitter.
That was only a minute-long video addressing a fake Twitter account, but rants about his—
It's like all he accomplished by doing that was bringing more attention to the fake profile.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, you are giving it more credence and more legitimacy than it ever deserves. You shouldn't address stuff like that. And
I do wonder what was the prominence of getting verified on Twitter at this time, because I had a Twitter account, but I didn't give a shit about it. I didn't pay attention. I had a lot of impersonators. I didn't care. So I wonder if, like, by bringing it to the public, like, he thought, oh, maybe now Twitter will verify my account.
Oh,
so now I can avoid trolling in the future, right?
That's actually right. Yeah,
It
that
could have
might be
been a
it.
dirty scheme on his part to try and get verified. Who knows? He might have even been behind the false accounts trying to create this scheme. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Lost to the
seeping
sands
into
of
videos
time.
that hardly needed to involve them.
You're the smartest person on the planet. Doesn't matter how well spoken you are, anything, you are going to deal with trolling, and it is going to get to you.
He says this all the time,
No,
by the
but-
way, and cries every time.
But it doesn't have to get to you. That's him. Like,
Yeah.
he's letting it get to him. He's letting it affect his life. He's letting it control him. And as he's saying later on in the video, he's letting it control him to the point he's making horrible choices like doxing people and stuff like that. She should never get to that point.
Of course.
That was from his 100,000 subscriber thank you video. Discussion of trolls takes up about 1/3 of it. And though Rich states that no one is infallible when it comes to trolling, only 2 minutes later he states that he is.
The why trolls don't get to me because I know exactly what their motivation is, and they're pathetic people.
And this
The
is
story Rich is telling
he'll say he's above getting trolled. He's matured. He knows better now. And he'll give out advice. Like he gave out advice to Boogie where he lays out like his 4 keys to not falling for it. And then immediately within a week or two, he's back to violating all of those rules he told Boogie or Wayne.
What's even more sad about it is it's supposed to be 100,000 subscriber celebration video. Thank you. His thank you is bitching about trolls. That's not thanking your viewers. That's complaining about the repercussions of you being a content creator on the internet. No one wants to hear that shit. So why did you make the whole video about it?
And this is the ultimate mistake guys make when they start getting trolled is they start making content to cater to the trolls instead of their own people.
That's
And they're
bad.
making content that only people who hate them would care about. Let me
Right.
dispel this rumor or this lie. Well, the people who like you for your game news don't care about that. Only the people that hate you. But so many people fall into this mistake all the time.
Feed the trolls because you feel like you always have to defend yourself. Once you get to a certain point like me, I don't have to defend myself anymore. You said everything you could possibly say about me. I don't give a shit. I'm here to enjoy time with my viewers and fans, and that's all I care about. But you're right. These people, they take the bait every time. They can't stop.
telling is one of a troll that was going through hardship and was taking their frustration
By the
out.
way, if at this time he was still making videos daily, at least one video a day about news or reviews or whatever, and ignored all the trolls, he'd be huge. Like part of the bun. I mean, he is, but you know what I mean? Like he'd have tons of subscribers if he just stuck to it. But no, I want to be a musician.
Out on Rich. From this, he deduces trolls are pathetic, unwittingly inviting their company and encouraging their existence.
Something constructive instead of, hanging out with your wife or girlfriend or family, or you just going out and doing something else. You think it's a better idea to go on the internet to try to aggravate or piss off or insult someone else. That's the lamest excuse I've ever heard. That's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard.
Not everyone that increases their output of content sees increases in adverse effects. But that was exactly what was going on with Review Tech USA still. More strong opinions, news stories that were not as accurate as they should have been, more reasons to dislike him.
Now, I will say the issue I'm about to talk about was resolved. but it was after I screamed like a
This just again, this story we're about to hear really goes to show what sort of a person Review Tech USA really is. I believe personally that one of the biggest indicators of a person's true character is how they treat people that are perceived as below them in the hierarchy in society. How people treat waiters and wait staff, how people treat customer service agents and people like that. And when you see how Rich treats this person, you see what sort of a scumbag he really is.
I will say one quick thing before we play it. At this time, again, to put it into context, 2012-ish is when, he's 2013, he's starting to get popular. YouTubers, again, were very full of themselves. They were constantly thinking they were above others. It's true. I was a victim of, I say victim. What am I talking about? I was an asshole. I did act like that at that time too. So I'm not going to be surprised if this is some story about him. Oh, this happened to me. It's some big deal because he thinks he's a hot shit, right? He's a big shot. Let's see.
Lunatic and was raging, and it shouldn't have been this way. I was not happy with the customer service I received, and that's why I'm making this video, and I gotta call him out on it.
This was the start of a series of videos that showcased how Rich was at the center of his problems, molding minor inconveniences into something larger, then directing them to his general audience who would typically diagnose Rich as the issue. In this video, Rich discusses an issue with the return of his graphics card, the GTX 770, to the vendor Newegg. Not because there was anything wrong with it, but because he wanted a different card. A slight upgrade, which was the GTX 780. This is an extremely minor upgrade. Regardless, Rich went through with it and sent the card back, including a voucher for Arkham Origins. This, Rich details, was taped to the outside of the card box, not the shipping box, being that it was still outside.
Do you believe that? That he put the voucher on the outside of the shipping box, and that's why it was lost?
This is already becoming so convoluted, and it hasn't even begun
I
yet.
know. I know. So my theory is that he actually used the code on Arkham Origins because he had actually been playing it on Steam that very week. So what are the chances that he paid for it out of pocket and didn't redeem the code?
If you really want to give him the benefit of the doubt, he lost it. He lost the code, right? He forgot to put it with the product and mail it back, right? I mean, what are the chances he taped it on the outside of the box? It doesn't even make sense. You're going to put it in the box. You're not going to have it loose. It makes no sense at all what's being said here.
But this whole process is for the slightest upgrade possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he's going to mail this box all the way across the country. And anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
There is a possibility that it was lost when unpackaged at Newegg. For this reason, Rich's refund was initially voided.
Oh.
As soon as she said she was returning the item to me, I saw red. Okay, this is a $450 friggin' card that's being bounced all over.
Oh no.
$450, right? Smelling a little broke there to me.
Country, and I lost it. I started screaming, "This is fucking bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? I've been a customer with Newegg for years, and I'm getting an item returned over a piece of paper."
She has no control over this situation.
Right.
She's just reading the report from the warehouse where the code isn't right, so she can't process the refund. And you have Rich who's just screaming at her, every curse word in the book, stomping his feet, throwing a tantrum. And, any of you who've ever worked in customer service, like I've worked in tech support and stuff, you know exactly what this is like to be on the receiving end of and how much it sucks. But Dickers just doesn't have that empathy for this person and makes it all about himself over the paltry sum of $450 not getting his refund.
And let's be honest, perhaps there are situations where a customer service agent, you get the feeling like they're trying to brush you off and don't want to help. But 9 times out of 10, they're doing the absolute best they can do from the training they've been giving, the resources they have. They're just doing their jobs. Why are you going to give them your anger? They didn't do this to you. They're just doing what they're told, and this is what they can do in their power. Yelling at them does nothing but just make their day more miserable.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's take some chips for this. This is nasty. Because this is how he is day to day. This is a real insight into how somebody's character is.
We're into the blue. Into the blue chips. So there's a stack too.
Yeah. But and then he makes a video about it, crying. Oh, like, how about you just keep the 770 and just relax, bud? By the way, if you're watching him play this Minecraft, it's like, what is he doing? He's not even building. It is like dirt, like running around.
Oh,
you watch the
so
if you
bad
watch the whole
watching the
video.
gameplay. He's spinning around like doing 360s for no reason.
It's
Like
just
giving you motion sickness. No, remember he's filling in holes, like he's digging holes and then filling them back in. The very definition of uselessness.
Right.
Makeshift work. It's like,
It's
what's
just
going
filler.
on? But then he'll go, "Oh, Phil doesn't know how to play." Yeah, I bet.
He's just spinning in circles.
What? I thought everything was. What UPC code are you talking about?
Look,
This is absolute bullshit.
For 20 minutes, he's taking holes out and refilling them.
It drove us
Why?
crazy.
I can't believe I'm being treated like this. And the thing, the whole time, she's like, listen, sir, I'm sorry. Listen, sir, I'm sorry. Listen, sir, I understand why you're upset, sir. While I'm screaming, which also irritated me, I'm like, stop talking over me.
Rich goes on to say he did not regret his outburst, and he
That's
did get that
nasty,
refund.
too, and it's a woman on the phone too. He's talking to a female like that, saying, "Don't talk over me."
Wow.
Unbelievable.
He thinks he's a big shot. He thinks he's a
Yeah.
YouTuber, and he should get everything he wants at every moment, and not have to actually return the product that was supposed to be in the box.
Yeah.
Though he got his way in the end, he still believes Newegg is majorly at fault.
The bottom line is that is not a way to treat a customer.
While Newegg did incorrectly avoid the return, it was Rich's demeanor and rage at a service employee that was not responsible for the mishap that displeased his audience. Additionally, this was seen as boasting, with Rich likely seeing himself as someone who was stalwart in the refund he deserved rather than tearing down an employee who was restricted from making an equally furious retort, therefore defenseless. The top comment of this video reads, quote, "Don't lose it with frontline personnel. It's not their fault. They get paid a shitty wage to protect their supervisors and managers from the public. Rip into supervisors and managers by all means. That's different." Unquote. The majority of comments echo this sentiment, while others comment about the chaotic harvesting of dirt in the Minecraft footage being played, likely because his brother...
They called him out on it too. That's great. That's great.
And someone up here said, where does it say? Got motion sickness within the first minute of this
No,
video.
it really is. It really is bad.
So I gotta ask, like, what did he think he was accomplishing by making the video? If it's like a venting video, did he not realize that the story made him look really bad? Maybe he didn't. Maybe he actually was so full of himself. He's like, I'm beyond reproach. So I'm definitely right in this situation. And if I make this video, my viewers would love that, to hear that I was a jerk and a bully to someone in customer service. Like, I don't get it.
Got
Like,
his way from those evil corporate overlords. But really what he was doing was shitting on an innocent customer service worker who had no control over the situation and making somebody's day bad for no good reason. And it's very pathetic. But yeah, he lacked the self-awareness to realize that's how he'd come across. And he thought, oh, I'm taking Newegg down a notch.
Wow.
I'm showing people that they aren't good with their customer service. Which at this time, like, Newegg was really renowned for being like the best.
Mm-hmm.
They were known as the best and they were great. Now, I've heard from people that they've gone down in quality over time, but at this time, their reputation was beyond reproach. So I'm more inclined to believe it was Review Tech that was the problem, and less inclined to believe it was Newegg that was the problem.
There is no way he taped that code on the outside of the box. He forgot it. He forgot the code, or he used it, and this was his bullshit tactic to try to make him look like the victim.
Comment about the chaotic harvesting of dirt in the Minecraft footage being played, likely because his brother was responsible for recording the footage. Rich then posted one of the longer negative responses.
His brother?
Imagine you're outsourcing your gameplay to your brother?
I had a feeling too. I totally had a feeling looking at that. I don't think he's sitting there doing that. That's someone else. He's either paying someone or someone's doing it for him. There's no way. And that's why it looks like shit. The brother's like, fucking gonna do this? Yeah, you want me to do this for you, bro? Watch this shit. Fucking worst gameplay I've ever seen. He doesn't want to care about it. You know, he's just doing it to get him to shut up.
It's 20 minutes of Minecraft. Like, figure it out, Rich. By the way, his Call of Duty, if you ever watch him playing, he just like dies the entire time, no kills. And we're like, this is the footage you picked?
This is how you don't play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Facebook. Not once, but twice. This was only one of the videos that was poorly received in October 2013. The second was titled PS4/Xbox
Are you
One Launch
familiar with
Disaster.
this, Bill? Do you know what's about to happen here?
Oh, I'm complete outsider to all this shit. I
Okay.
have no clue, man.
Okay.
This is
Imminent.
infamous.
Please share.
I got all of this information from very, very reliable sources, okay? Yeah, I'm just gonna call them little birds. I can't even give you their gender, because if you found out any information about them, or if
Oh, wow.
He's like trying to play up desperately, like how top secret, hush hush. This is coming from the highest levels of Sony and Microsoft. You won't even believe this. But he actually had no sort. He just actually just made all
Made
this
it up.
Yeah.
He just made all this up. Yeah.
Right.
company found out any information, they would be screwed and blacklisted, and I would be screwed along with them.
Rich plays into how
Why?
high profile
Why would you
source
be
is,
screwed?
and
You're a YouTuber. What does
Yeah,
it matter?
He doesn't work for any of these companies. He
talking
doesn't
about?
have any
He'll be
connections within the gaming industry that he's risking by putting out this info. But he wants to make it out to be that he's Fox Mulder leaking the X Files. He's fighting for the truth is out there about PlayStation Network and Xbox Live.
The smoking man came after him because he revealed his sources.
Yeah.
and then breaks down all that he
He's
was
deep
told.
throat.
Well, I have some bad news for all the guys who were hating on the Xbox One, but it's going to be 720p on both the PS4 and Xbox One. So what are my thoughts on all this information?
Pause.
Well, I hope
It wasn't just that. I know Joon was trying to, get through this stuff as quickly as possible. He didn't just say that both consoles would be locked to 720p. He said that both consoles' online services would not be available at launch.
Oh.
And that it would be months before PlayStation Network and Xbox Live were able to be launched. And his reasoning for that made no sense. He said it was because Microsoft was moving to the next version of DirectX. And so because of that, Xbox Live wasn't going to work. But he got called out in the most beautiful way that just destroyed him. Let's have a look.
the sources that I have are wrong.
There were a few speculations in that video that were on the wilder side. Luckily, Rich got his wish granted. A user sent Rich's video to Shuei Yoshida on Twitter,
Oh,
then
no.
the unexpected happened. Yoshida, the president's son, responded with 2 words directed at Rich. So stupid.
He's like, I'm not even gonna mince words. I'm just gonna give you 2 words direct. So stupid.
Stupid.
So how many chips for being insulted by the CEO of Sony
This
do
is
you lose?
this is a devastating felting. This is honestly
Seven.
this is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, up of his entire career.
Yeah.
Getting publicly reprimanded by the CEO of Sony, and he lost thousands of subscribers after this. Lots of people never came back, and it honestly should have been the end of Review Tech USA. He was completely destroyed and exposed. He had no source. He made this all up. He thought he could get away with it. And then he was called out by somebody who directly knew he was totally full of shit.
Look at that stack there, Ash.
That's a nice fat stack of blue chips being removed. He is now
take it
down,
away.
to show you, he's now down to only 2.5 stacks left, and we're only not even a third into the documentary yet. So,
I don't know if he's going to have any chips left by the end of this.
Does it be
one.
an early felt? Like,
oh boy.
Besides being humiliated by the president of Sony, nothing much happened. Rich did warn of the possibility that the information may not be 100%, and his continued success overshadowed whatever negative attention he got. It took only 6 months after this for him to hit 200,000 subscribers, and like his 100,000 sub video, when discussing his channel, Rich talks quite a bit about trolls and drama. This time the discussion took up about half of the video.
Don't let the drama get to you, because once you go down that path of
when you're
getting
saying
defended,
that, when you're saying that, the drama is getting to you, right? Like it's obvious the trolls are getting.
who is he talking to? Himself? He's like looking at himself in his webcam. Don't let.
Like
don't let
how
the
many
drama
of
get
the
to
audience are running YouTube channels, by the way? How many of
Exactly.
them are trying to be internet celebrities? Like, come on.
offensive and making videos defending your honor, quote unquote, you're down that slippery slope, and sometimes you can't get back up from it.
to direct entertainment in a way that reflects what the audience wants to see rather than to vindicate the creator is sage advice.
Don't make your personal problems become part of your channel.
Pause.
Life now.
You know, he keeps talking about his family members, them being in the hospital, their detailed medical issues, all this stuff. Why doesn't he listen to his own advice?
Yeah.
Right.
And not make
You
that a part
can't,
of
man.
his-
You
Right.
gotta keep your personal problems off. And if you're having problems that you just don't feel like making a fucking video, don't make a video.
This is the safest route to content creation, but does Rich have the willpower or stability to follow through?
I took down the Patreon account, and many of you are going to wonder why. Some of you think I was trying to sweep it under the rug, which is another reason why I wanted to make this video, because no, here, this video is staying up and people will know that I had a Patreon campaign posted temporarily.
For a period, Rich had a Patreon active in 2014. Its purpose was to make his videos ad-free, but it vanished as quick as it went up.
The second reason, and this is honestly the straw that broke the camel's back, the second reason that I took down my Patreon account is these same people, advertisement videos, like say when I had an unboxing for Dollar Shave Club or Loot Crate, so on and so forth, were the same people who were also complaining about me doing the Patreon campaign. I do a YouTube commentary.
Well, take it down, because the same people who complain about you making money on ads are complaining about you making money off Patreon when they don't have to see ads anymore. Have you considered these people just hate you and don't want to see you make any money?
Why are
And
you
that's the
conceding to
problem.
them? Last
That's
people
the
to be
thing.
listening to.
That's the thing, he had over 1,000 people on his Patreon. So he was getting support from his audience, his paying audience. And instead, he decides to pander to the people that won't give him a red cent ever.
And they hate
Why?
him.
Right.
They're actively trying to
Why?
ruin him.
It's because he's desperate for the approval of everybody. He
Right.
can't handle being criticized in any way. It causes him to spiral and shut down. So he does decisions that aren't best for him or his audience.
Channel where I comment on news and talk about my opinions and have a fucking blast doing it. And if that pisses you off, that either means one of two things: you're delusional or you're jealous. And if you are jealous, you need to get out of the house more.
This video was released only 6 months after his 200,000 subscriber video. It shows that the innocuous claims of e-begging still holds power over him. It also shows that, contrary to the new egg video, he is not stalwart in his beliefs or what he does. This was a
See, the
major
thing was-
criticism as
See, the thing is, it is, as Joon said, so nebulous. Define what e-bagging is. And see, there were people like, for instance, Keemstar had a controversy with Review Tech where he believed YouTubers who have ads shouldn't have a Patreon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's really genuinely no difference between any of these things, right? It was just weird distinctions and headcanons that people had about what money was acceptable to make and what money wasn't acceptable to make. And it just made no sense. And eventually the meta moved past it and everybody started making money online.
Right.
And there's only a very, very small group of people even then, but especially now, who would try and say somebody is an e-bagger or whatever. It's really fallen out of fashion because it was stupid to begin with.
Well, for like, I mean, DSVU, for example, like now people are like, you're asking for money. Every streamer on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, everyone in the world, podcasts on iTunes, get money through Patreon or through ads or through whatever, super chats. And it's just like, are we all living in 2010?
No,
like,
but what's the difference between having an eBay listing and doing that?
exactly.
You know, because most people wouldn't have a problem with an eBay listing, but suddenly if Phil has a PayPal and asks for tips, ooh! So anyway.
It's
shown in
really
the
weird.
comment-
Like my detractors used to have these weird debates about, is it okay to troll Phil as long as you don't monetize the trolling? That's how far it went. It's like, so we can make awful, terrible videos about you as long as there's no ads on those videos. That's completely acceptable. But if a detractor monetizes a video, even they would fight amongst themselves. Like, what? You're still doing a horrible thing. Like,
Fred Fox would go around and threaten people. like threatened to dox them, threatened to get their videos taken down.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
He would go around
Yes.
and that's part of the reason why Sons of Kojima failed in the end, was this like cringe policing of everything and this gatekeeping. And to a certain extent, it never went away. It's just different in that it's not about monetization necessarily now, because a lot of those guys are in it for a paycheck, but it's about other things, right? It's, oh, well, this way of doing it is wrong, or it has to be this way. Da, 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 da. So it's very, very autistic and very, very like mental illness over there.
Yeah.
Of this video. Quote, please never get involved with politics. What a flip-flop. I am disappointed in you, Rich. I thought you were made of stronger stuff than this. Why take down your Patreon account? Because you're afraid of trolls? Newsflash, trolls will always exist.
Exactly.
Unquote. On that same note, the following month, Rich released a similar video, a parody titled, A Review Tech USA Hater Tries to Do Gaming News.
Yo, what's going on, man? My name is Steve, and I'm here to expose that fat that piece of shit, e-begging piece of shit, Review Tech USA.
Based Steve.
And expose him.
Steve rules.
First of all, the bit's just not even funny.
No, it's ultra cringe. Ultra cringe.
Ultra cringe.
Okay, yeah.
Second of all, imagine trying to pretend it takes a lot of effort to do that. It takes a lot of effort to drag gameplay footage into the editor and then hit voiceover button and talk for 7 minutes, reading for 5 and giving an opinion for 2. Whoa! This is the next level of content creation.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And he's like, well, why don't you do what I do? Why don't you do what I do? It's like
some people
lots
don't
of,
want to.
Well, that's saying lots of people were able to do what Review Tech did, and later on, the market became oversaturated because it was so easy to do what he did.
Right.
And then he was defeated because there were people doing what he did who were a lot more talented, a lot more charismatic, more on point, actually knew about tech, and then he had nowhere to go.
Or the fucking bitch that he is. All right, so watch how easy it is to do news stories like that fat white Uncle Phil looking motherfucker does. Look, watch how easy it is. So I have an article right in front of me. Okay, this
like, it's so stupid.
Did you forget how to read?
Donate.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty here? I don't even understand.
Well, he's trying to say that these people who hate him are so stupid that when they're gonna try to read a news story, they can't. It's like that would never happen.
Like, what are you talking about? He's acting like his job of reading articles is difficult and you can't do it. Literally anyone with a grade school education can read a fucking article.
Exactly, especially when it's pre-recorded. You have an infinite amount of flubs. If you mess up a read, you can go back and redo it.
Yeah.
It's, you know, and when you take a look at how Rich was pre-recorded versus how he is live, you can see he's an absolute dummy. And he never would have made it if he had to be in a live content era. It just would not have happened because his brain doesn't operate quick enough.
Wow. It's World of Warcraft pet sales to Ubulu.
In the comments, Rich claims this was a parody for a different YouTuber. Being that Rich has shown himself to react poorly to his own trolls made this video seem in poor taste. The comments are either remarking Rich as brilliant or just childish for releasing this video. Quote, you say that don't give trolls what they want or just ignore the haters, and then you make this? I like your videos, but this was just pathetic.
Yeah.
Unquote. This was on top of exposing the ease of reading articles as the center of his job, but in the parody he was framing it as difficult. This was not a good look. It was only a few days later that Rich received 2 troll copyright strikes claiming that they owned the explosion Rich used in his intro. It was clear it was a troll because the channel that had reported him had clips of the BBC debating Rich.
The video is now gone because they got caught with their pants down. They probably deleted it right away, which sad day for you is that even when you delete a video, YouTube still has it in their database. So when this claim goes through, and this counterclaim goes through, they're going to look into that. They deleted the video though, so no one could see it.
As an additional response, Rich directs his viewers to his second channel, seen in the description. As Rich periodically addressed his trolls and gave them more power, they continued to grow and expand their list of tactics. In around 2015, they clung on to possibly the strangest campaign of trolling they'd ever use. One that's absurdness attracted those joining for the humor and the absurdity, and others that saw it as a true calling.
Hello, comrades. I would like to present the Big Cheese Anthem. I encourage you to keep hitting the channel and fighting for Big Cheese.
He thought that he could get away with taking $200 from Big Cheese.
This is Big Cheese reporting in. I want you guys to stop trolling, the guy that did me wrong.
I decided to do the decent thing. I made a change.org petition to have ReviewTech USA's sponsor Hawk.
Stop messaging me saying to stop something that I had nothing to do with at all. I had nothing to do with it.
Come at me, because what I'm doing is 100% legal.
See, I will say one thing before we get into this arc. What this shows through this early going, because you go, oh, well, there's nothing here that's really that crazy or that evil about Rich. But what it does show is that he should have learned these lessons a decade ago. What it shows is, like, for instance, with this Big Cheese situation where you're not paying somebody what they are owed and you get this huge backlash, you think he would know to pay people going forward.
Exactly.
But he didn't. With these situations where he has these trolls and they're baiting him and he's getting upset, he should know to ignore them. And he did know to ignore them. He gave that advice. He's just unable to do it because he just, I don't know, either lacks impulse control or lacks the understanding to actually apply what he says. But if he had just learned these lessons early on, he wouldn't be in the situation he's in today.
Rich, circa 2015, was because of a deal that went wrong between content creator Big Cheese and Rich. As Rich had begun taking sponsors for his videos, Big Cheese inquired about a spot for his channel. Their prior deal involved a laptop and things went smoothly. Continuing their dealings, Big Cheese and then sent Rich a desktop. The deal was for 3 sponsor spots a week for what was assumed to be 6 months and an additional $200 payment made to Big Cheese in December 2014.
All right, so a PC for some ads and $200.
Yeah.
There were issues with the computer's CD drive, but both parties were happy to continue the deal.
Today's video was brought to you by Big Cheese's YouTube channel. For gameplay reviews, gaming music, and vlogs, subscribe to Big Cheese VG. Link below in the description.
This was the only placement for Thanksgiving week. Already, Rich had failed the promise of 3 sponsors a week. But that's
what?
So,
Already.
yes. So, and this is the thing, is he would excuse this by saying to Big Cheese, well, but I could sell those spots to companies for thousands of dollars. So why would I play your spot when I can get thousands of dollars? And it's like, then why did you agree to this deal with the YouTuber in the first place?
Right.
But it was just Rich's greed that when opportunities came about that were better than the pre-existing deal that he made, he would go back on his word and try and make more money rather than be loyal and honest. And this is because he does business in this way, he runs into problems.
when Big Cheese reached out inquiring what happened. Rich states that the holiday has somehow affected his ability to add placements. Big Cheese shook it off and was pleased to find that Rich was adhering to their deal to 3 sponsors the following week. But that was it. Even though the 10th of December had come, Rich was reluctant to deliver those $200. Instead offering Big Cheese an additional...
ridiculous.
The one thing that Rich won't do is part with money.
Yeah.
He'll come up with any other type of proposal rather than part with money.
So hear this, $200. Okay, I won't pay you, but I'll do 6 months of promotion. But if companies are offering money for spots, $200 is nothing
compared to 6 months of promotion, right?
Exactly, it's thousands.
So it just doesn't really add up. And by the way, $200 that you can't give somebody, it's smelling real broke in here, man. Like, what are you in high school? You can't settle a $200 debt just to not have a massive controversy where you're being called out by a business partner?
Right.
It's just so short-sighted. What, did he think that Big Cheese would just bend over and let him get away with ripping him off? That's what he must have expected.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
It's the same pattern of behavior from the Newegg thing. He thinks he's a big shot on YouTube, so I don't have to abide by any actual agreements, rules. I'm above all of it. You know, you should just, hey, tough. If I want this, if I want to do this, break out of this agreement, just, you know, accept it. And I should get everything I want and tough shit to everybody else.
Well, you know, Future Dynamo in chat brings up a point. He says, it's hilarious he won't pay the agreed $200 in this situation, but when the Switch Lite came out, he bought all 3 colors to unbox them all at $200 a pop.
Wait, what?
That's where his priorities are. It's the same thing where he had the white Wii U, but then he sold his camera that he begged his audience money for so he could buy the black one. It's like, why do you need both? Who needs 2 Wii U's? Who needs 3 Switches? But Rich, this is where a lot of the money has gone over the years. It's like, how can he plead poverty when, you know, he had this 1 million subscriber channel for so long and he had these streams were successful with super chats. Rich has wasted so much money on tech that he never needed, or buying multiple versions of consoles, just absolute excess. And then he cries when the money dries up and he just hands us out. Ooh, sad, very sad.
Additional 6 months of promotion. That, or he sends the PC back, which Big Cheese would have to pay the shipping for. Either way, Rich...
What? Just do the fucking, pay him the $200. I'll send you the PC back. Just the headache of shipping it by itself is like way not worth $200.
And Big Cheese is saying he needs that money to pay his bills.
Right.
You know, Rich doesn't care. Rich has no empathy for this guy's situation, that he might miss out on his internet bill or he might be short on rent or whatever. Rich just only cares about himself. That's the situation.
He screws the guy into a lose-lose situation for himself. It's messed up. He's a small-time content creator. That's why he needed the promotion, and now you're going to act like he could just drop this money out of nowhere, and, you know, that's totally disrespectful, and he's misusing his power as a YouTuber, to be quite frank. You know, he's just not caring about these arrangements. That's really messed up.
Yeah, and he made Big Cheese pay for the shipping?
Yeah. What the hell?
What the heck is wrong with him?
You're the one backing out of the agreement, but now you also have to foot the bill for me backing out of the agreement. Thanks. Wow, yeah.
Thanks, dude.
He was not getting the agreed upon $200, emphasizing that other companies would pay him thousands for the sponsorship spots and that it was not worth his time.
Wow.
The conversation then devolved alongside the deal.
I'm not going back on my word. What do you mean?
I am not interested in pursuing this deal. But you agreed to the deal.
You agreed to it, right?
He goes, I'm willing to give you back your hardware. Not following through on my word would be keeping the PC and refusing to pay you.
You know, at one point, I really wanted to buy this mansion, and I know I signed the mortgage and everything, but I've decided to renege on it now, and you're just going to take all this off my credit report because, you know, that's who I am. I'm big shot on YouTube, man. What do you mean? Wait, I can't do that? I'm going to make a rant video to my followers now about it, man.
But look at how disgusting he is. I'm sorry to hear about your wife's health issues, but I have to do what is best for me financially and for my business. He misspells do, uses the wrong do. And then Big Cheese goes, I missed the part where doing what's best for your business was my issue or part of our agreement. I don't wish to have 6 more months of ads. If you can have companies pay you thousands for this month alone, pretty sure 200 is just scratch, isn't it?
Hang on. And by the way, go back to Richard there. He goes, I'm sorry to hear about your wife's health issues. So this guy's like wife has health issues and you won't give him the $200?
Doesn't care.
Right? But
does not care.
But when his family has health issues, we all have to bend the knee, sorry, and do everything for him. Oh, but Big Cheese, screw him, right?
Wow.
He's made the statement that Rich was going back on his word.
We'll do more chips after at the end of this segment, guys.
Which Rich refuted. As Big Cheese would find, attacks on Rich character was a sore spot.
But when I said something about that financial crisis, when I tell you he flipped on me, he went ham. Cue it. First off, no financial crisis. Secondly, I don't give a shit to keep the machine and pay out money I don't need to. That's called being smart. You get back your product and there's...
So he feels like he doesn't need to hold to his word. That he doesn't have to have any integrity or honesty, that he's just allowed to do whatever he can get away with because it's smart business.
That's sick.
No contract. Who's going to want to do business with this guy in the future after this is all being made public? It's so dumb. It's not behind the scenes. He knows the shit's going to hit the internet. So what are you doing?
Well,
Exactly.
And he was so clearly in the wrong about all of this,
Right.
and so bullheaded about it, and so stubborn and ignorant that it turned so many people against him, and it provided this like justification for these trolls to appear righteous in everything that they're doing
Look
and
at
have
this.
some sort of moral high ground.
Look what he says at the end, and this is supposed to be a business discussion. Don't get smart with me, boss, because I'm not in the mood. What do you think you're a fucking gangster, dude? What are you gonna do? You're a fucking internet content creator, and you're talking like you're gonna go slap the guy around? Get the fuck out of here. That shit's bullshit.
He's the Godfather. You come to me on the day of the PC being delivered, and you think I'll give you the money that you owed, but I won't. You don't bow before me. You don't ask with respect. You don't even call me Dickers.
He's the slob father.
Slob father.
Seemed like a man who was broke and desperate since we were calling out people's financials, but sadly that's not my problem. So before I say something really nasty, bite your tongue. You get your computer and take virtually no financial loss except shipping. You know, the half-working computer you sent me. Don't get smart with me, boss, because I'm not in the mood. Let me know what you want to do.
After a lengthy back and forth with threats of litigation in the conversation, Rich posted this on his public Facebook.
Litigation over $200? Like, if you're like penny pinching over $200, you don't have the money for a lawyer. This isn't going to court. It's really shameful stuff.
Only Big Cheese at the time knew who it was directed at.
I'm a nice guy, but I'm not a pushover. And if you try to screw me over business-wise, I will legally stomp you and smile while doing it. Just to
I will legally stomp on you? Like, are you not like? This is actual deranged behavior for $200. It's not like it was like $20K and it's like, okay, this is a serious problem. We have to figure this out.
Word of advice, Rich, bruh, you're playing the victim once again. You are a victim, an emotional victim.
This was all compiled in Big Cheese's video calling Rich out for going back on his word. Rich, rather than pay those $200 and diffuse the building tension, uploads his own video to counter Big Cheese.
So you get back anything, you lose no money minus shipping, and you get months upon months of free advertising, and you're trying to turn this into me.
But it's not free advertising. He gave you a laptop and a desktop PC in exchange for the advertising and $200 cash. But you refuse to give him the $200 cash. It's just like an absolutely crazy reframing of it.
Me being like a scandalous thief, go to hell, dude. This is the last video I'll make on it. I don't care who else makes responses. I know people. I was going to keep this private like it should have been, but since you wanted to make it into a
threatening him in DMs, and you wanted to keep, oh, it's private. This is private. You can't just go out on your deal, threaten him, and then it's just private now. Shut the hell up.
shit show, so be it. I'm sure this is going to be an e-drama thing that everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon with, but this is the only video I will make about it.
Without any encouragement from Big Cheese himself, this disagreement alone birthed the Big Cheese Crusaders. Random users that formed under this drama.
Oh, God.
What are your thoughts, Phil, on the Big Cheese Crusaders? Just
first of all, I mean, it's such a bad look. First of all, to do something like this, because he's not a hot shit. He's not a tough guy. He knows this guy's going to call him out for it publicly. So first of all, he loses a stack of chips for that, because that was the dumbest possible thing you could ever do. But when you actually spawn an entire new group of haters as a result of your hubris, your amazing feeling of self-worth that you're so much better than everyone else, you got to get a double stack of chips removed, because that's pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, it's karma. It's karma for your actions.
Righteous judgment from the king.
Fountaining.
Wow.
That's jokes.
In order to go after...
How many chips you at right now? Like, how many chips does
We are
he have?
almost down to only
Halfway?
2 stacks. We have a tiny bit of the blue left. And we have 2 full stacks left.
Oh, man, this is not good for Rich.
To Rich in whatever ways they could. Rich saw only a glimpse of the chaos to come and buckled under the pressure.
I paid Big Cheese.
And then in the end, he has
Does
to
it
pay him anyway.
What was the point of it all, you idiot? Oh my God, man.
Big Cheese.
That's the end of the blue stack right there, dude. No, you gave him the money anyway. No, that's it.
I guess I do owe him an apology. Even though I was willing to send back the product, I guess he was depending on the money that I was going to send him, and it kind of blindsided him.
Though the feud was ostensibly over, in
I
reality
love
it
how
had
he had to be taught empathy. He just had no empathy for the guy's situation whatsoever. Even as he was telling him about how his wife was sick, that didn't matter to Rich at all. But we're supposed to care about his sick family members, right? When he can't do streams or whatever, we have to take that into account. But when it was time for Big Cheese's,
he was the one who went back on the agreement. It's not like, oh, Big Cheese had to get out of the agreement and I have to feel empathy for him because of his life situation. Dude, you were the one that broke the agreement. So why, I don't, like what he's saying here, he's like, oh, I guess I have to. No, dude, you were the one who caused the problem. You're the source of all of it. There's no, oh, now I feel bad that I did that. You're already smited on the internet. You look like shit. So just move on from it. We don't need an apology video from you. Just fucking move on. We know you're kind of acting like a scumbag.
Fine, I guess I'll pay him if you're all mad at me. Okay.
shifted between fans and detractors of Rich, some still under the Big Cheese Crusaders. Whenever Rich would slip up in a video, they were certain to catalog it.
I actually truly feel...
Was that Mundane Matt?
Whenever Rich would slip up in a video, they were certain to catalog it.
I actually truly feel that I owe Anita Sarkeesian an apology. Here's what I mean. Mr. Repzion, he's a pretty big channel on YouTube.
Videos like Rich's apology to the highly disliked Anita Sarkeesian over threats she was receiving, or just an ill-informed video about how DirectX 12 compatibility works. Comments disparaging Rich would soon become the least of his worries, as a new hell would overshadow them all. Around April of 2015, a channel going under Review Hell USA was persistent in the ruination of Rich, seeking to affect not only his reputation, but also cancel his convention showings and successfully scared away his sponsors. Though it looked like this person wasn't the only one interested in threatening Rich beyond what was typical.
This is when shit goes too far. I deal with trolling on a daily basis. I deal with nonsense on a daily basis.
I love how he makes himself the victim, right? Ooh, I get trolled every day, and this is what's going through. The thing about these death threats, right? When you get a death threat over the internet, typically somebody who's actually going to kill you isn't going to give you a warning ahead of time. And this is the thing, is everybody gets death threats online. Everybody who makes content from time to time gets a death threat, but you just disregard it and move on with your life. But Rich has to broadcast this to a wider audience and give this reaction, which guess what? Is going to lead to you getting more death threats, because they know that it's going to get this big reaction from you where you clutch, oh, they're threatening me. They're threatening me. And it's not to justify them threatening him. This is just the way the world works, right? But Rich is just like, by the way, Rich tries to say the police told him to shout this out and make a video about it, which is the last thing the police will ever instruct you to do.
Right. No, right. You want to know why I know that? Because I've gotten death threats. I have not publicly disclosed the details of the death threat. I call the police. I had the conversation. They will tell you directly, do not speak of it. Do not give any attention, because that's exactly what this kind of person wants. All you're going to do is make it worse for yourself. That's exactly the conversation I had with my local PD when it first happened. So this is complete bullshit. If he's saying, oh, they told me to make this video, he is so full of shit. He's looking for sympathy.
Of course they wouldn't. That's like ridiculous. Yeah, aggravate the person threatening you. Yeah, that's smart.
But this sounds like a Navy SEALs copy pasta. Like, honestly, I will shoot you with the precision shot from a like, it's not like the actual model of weapon. It's a sniper rifle in a building less than 700 yards from the building. I've got the layout of the floor plans of the building. Better dive if you see a laser. Haha. Like, this is not a credible death threat. Like, whatever.
It's a child.
DDoS attacked, or denial of service attacked on Twitch, so on and so forth. But the message that you're seeing here still is a message that I received on Facebook. When you threaten me is when shit gets real.
The purpose of this threat
he's such a tough guy. Like, what were you able to do to the guy? This is when shit gets real.
I'm gonna make a video.
Whoa.
Oh,
You made a YouTube video playing the victim and collecting AdSense. Like, and that's ultimately what that's all about.
It's a sympathy video. He wants sympathy from his viewers.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
To both scare Rich and cancel his convention showing. But as Rich draws on, a claim he makes about the advice given from law enforcement is not so believable.
So I actually asked the officer if I should make a video about what happened, and he said, yeah, it would be a good idea. It could give us more information and could help us get
information. We're going to read the comments. We're going to read the comments of your video, and we'll see if we can figure it out. Yeah.
The only thing you would do is create mass misinformation as a bunch of his trolls call the local PD and tell a bunch of bullshit to them. Like,
Yeah.
quicker. So I'm actually asking you guys for some help.
It was this line that had viewers questioning
what would commenters know about the assassin outside
about
the
a random anonymous guy on Facebook. Wow.
if Rich was lying. This sentiment was shared on Drama Alert that was reporting the story.
What a title, by the way. Someone threatened me and I need your help.
This
total
sentiment
clickbait, 100%.
Right.
was shared on Drama Alert that was reporting the story.
Now, Tech USA said that he went to the police and the police told him to make a video so people try to find this person. It seems like a little bit of a stretch. I'm not the only one that thinks.
When Keemstar says to you, I think it's a bit of a stretch. It's probably stretched all the way.
This guy's got a taffy factory behind him stretching shit for his content, and he's gonna tell you that your content is the stretch. It's like, wow. God damn, dude.
Oh, man.
It's a stretch. A lot of people have been uploading videos to YouTube claiming that this is just a hoax for exposure.
Whatever the case, Rich on his Facebook was firing back, claimed that the trolls that went after him will be made an example of.
It's like, how cringe to say they're gonna be made an example of. No, they're not.
What are you gonna do? They're anonymous trolls on the internet. How are you gonna make an example of them? The FBI will not mobilize a strike force to take down your trolls, Rich. They're not coming. They're not kicking the windows in dramatically like an action movie. You have no power here.
Let's take a closer look at this. How this shit is handled on the internet has to change. And I'm going to make that change happen.
Yeah.
You just know the trolls were just cranking it to this. Like, yes, give us more, give us more. Like, this is exactly what they want to hear. They know I have info and are scared. And they should be. So that's him basically implying he's going to dox these people or that he's going to create some sort of real life consequence for them, right? The anonymity of the internet should not be a safe haven for harassment. I, along with others, like, what's he going to build the coalition of the willing to defeat bullies online?
Well, technically he tried with iPredator, with Shadow's government, and with those guys, he actually started working with people who are like, doxers and hackers or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah.
We'll see right here, too, I think.
How this shit is handled on the internet has to be changed, and I'm gonna make that change happen. They know I have info and are scared, and they should be. The anonymity of the internet should not be a safe haven for harassment. Unquote. Those seeking Rich's demise were confident, enough so that they came forward claiming that they were the ones that sent the threat.
We have Lizard Squad here today, and we also have Review Tech.
How does Keem or Review Tech know this is actually Lizard Squad? Like, it's the actual hackers who shut things down on Christmas Day. They have no idea. They're just
true.
How many people who have had Keemstar as like the referee in these online quarrels, debates, have ever had a good outcome? Honestly, have you ever seen like the happy ending from that? No, all it does is creates more drama and more problems for you when you get into these kind of arenas, So this is the worst possible thing you could ever do, is I want to bring this drama now to a public forum of another YouTuber. Dude, all you're doing is you're airing all the dirty laundry out. Everyone's going to know about you. Now you're associated with drama. You're just going to make it worse for yourself. This is the worst possible choice he could have done.
But think about it for just 2 seconds. If this was the actual Lizard Squad and they're these master hackers that could really ruin your life, why would you directly engage with and battle them?
That's true. Exactly.
So either they're not actually in which case the conversation is pointless, or they are, in which case the conversation is dangerous for you and not good.
USA. Why did you guys make the death threat? Why did you get him kicked from this event? Don't you think that's going too far?
No, it wasn't going too far. It was actually our associate Daryl Boot who called up too many games and told them basically what would happen if he attended the event.
Whether it was from the infamous hacking group, Lizard Squad, Review Hell USA, or any other of Rich's trolls, his harassment only escalated as more users were coming out to attack him, which Rich continued to address. Little did they know, Rich was more than willing to sink to their level.
Okay, so the sponsor that came up to me fairly recently, and I'm
a sponsor. Shadow's government.
Which, by the way, they're not a sponsor that's paying him with money. As Rich said, they do something for him that's more valuable than money, which is, of course, doxing people, intimidating people, doing identity theft, other cyber crimes. So.
Yeah.
Excited as hell that we were.
He had 37 felonies, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, he had 37 separate convictions. I mean, Phil is going to learn this for the first time, but yeah.
I think we told him before, but yeah, this is...
It's called shadowsgovernment.com. These guys work with digital forensics, online psychological criminal profiling, and the one I'm going to be talking about the most, okay, is cyber criminal investigation.
He calls it my most important sponsor ever.
Yeah.
That's the
because they're hackers he's hired to go after the trolls. Which is really like it's Nietzschean, isn't it? Battle not with monsters lest thou become a monster.
Yeah.
And if thou art to gaze into the abyss gazes into thou also. Something
fire
to
with
that
fire,
effect.
everyone gets burned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had his people sign up to this guy's website with their information. Brilliant.
Investigation.
Shadow's government was a self-proclaimed white hat hacker. These are deemed ethical hackers who try to expose security vulnerabilities for the companies or individuals they serve or take contracts with. As much as anonymity is valued in this space, Todd Nicely, the person behind Shadow's government, wasn't so anonymous.
Todd Nicely was arrested after impersonating a doctor at Somerset Community Hospital. But he says there's more to the story. Todd was a patient when he wondered just how secure the hospital is, both physically and technically. He runs an online conglomerate of computer hackers from all over the world called Shadows.
As it was quickly found out, Nicely also had several criminal convictions, mostly related to drug possession and driving, whether it be under the influence or with a revoked license. Rich had promoted a convicted criminal for reasons that soon became apparent when Shadows sent out a bounty. Quote, Shadows putting out a bounty on their heads. He's
Whoa.
Putting a bounty on the heads of people that are making fun of him.
Wow.
And by the way, ironically, it's $200.
So what are the odds? What really happened here? Is Rich so angry that people are trolling him on the internet that he doesn't care that this guy is a criminal? Or was he actually too ignorant and stupid to look into his past before he agrees to this association, right? Like either one's equally bad, but I'm just curious what actually happened.
I think it's both. I think he was so mad and so desperate that he never even looked into this guy's background. He just wanted somebody that could deliver him these doxes so that he could hold the trolls accountable and that he could punish them because it's his big crusade, right? And he didn't care who he brought in to do that sort of thing. He had to know it was wrong deep down because he wouldn't want that done to his parents or himself or his friends or his family in any way. But he had no problem doing it to others.
And again, he's doing it in public. He's not even doing this behind the scenes secretly. He's professing this to the internet that he's doing it. Like, how did you think it was going to go? Everyone's going to love you for doing this? Like, this is going to get public. Everyone's going to know who you're associated to.
He's so cool, man.
I think what he must have thought is he would be celebrated as this troll hunter or this like this guy defeating the cyber bullies, right? And that everybody would give him all this credit for it. But that's not how this works. People just look at you and say you're unhinged.
Right.
You're paying people to do dirty deeds for you that aren't right.
Right.
Easy money. Announcement. $200 for docs on the following. Big Cheese Crusaders Bullshit Group. They usually go by Review Hell USA, Review Mussolini, or Review Something or Other. Unquote. While this is hard to verify with complete certainty as it only exists through screenshots and videos, there is other information that has yet to be wiped, like this Facebook.
By the way, your big hacker, his way of hacking people is going, if anyone has any info, could you send it to me? Like, what a shitty hacker.
The real circus over there. But look at this. Here he is thanking these guys for helping him find the docs.
Here it comes. This is what Joon called out.
Will be found on Rich's Facebook. Quote, I would like to thank Anonymous, our Predator, and Shadow's government for helping me proactively identify and locate Redacted, aka Review Hell USA. Excellent work, and I can't express my gratitude enough.
I actually want to point something out there that I didn't notice at the end of this. He goes, let's do it more important things like keeping the web safe and getting rid of online sexual predators. The implication there is that this guy is a pedophile, isn't it? He's basically pedo-jacketing this guy he's doxed.
Yeah.
By in the same breath mentioning sexual predators online. Like, this guy has nothing to do with that. There's no evidence of that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think iPredator hunts like pedophiles, right? I think that I think we watched the video on this whole situation, right? And iPredator, like, he paused his pedo hunting to help Review Tech find the trolls.
It almost seems like a lame justification. Like, in this case, it was extreme for me to get rid of my trolls like this, but don't worry, because now we're going after predators, so now you can back it. It's all good now.
There's
right?
the justification.
Yeah.
Right?
Unquote.
Here is what happened with that. I forgot about it. I swear on my son, I forgot about it.
Yeah, you
like, again, swearing on your son. Like, that's low, man. Because you obviously, like, you're lying when you say that. And so you're invoking bad things to happen to your children. It's just a nasty thing, I think, to do.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he knew. You don't forget that you're working with iPredator and child. No. So you're obviously like swearing on your son knowing that you're lying. So it's ridiculous.
About it. I would even mention that in that Twitch video. There was a guy on YouTube who was bothering my family and I to the point that I had to get authorities involved. I'm not going to go into details. Basically, they threw their hands up and there was nothing they could really do. Someone said, which ended up being him, that I have that guy's information. Maybe this will put a stop to him. So I was like, okay. I mean, I kind of thought it was bullshit, but I'm like, all right, I'll put it out there.
Archived is Rich posting the paste-bin of Review.
So there he is, posting the guy's full name.
Wow.
There's the paste bin.
Review Hell USA. Quote, someone sent me a possible dox of the psycho that has been relentless on me. I didn't ask for it, and I strongly question its legitimacy.
He didn't ask for it, but we just saw him asking for it.
Well, and also you don't even know if it's the real dox. So you might be doxing some random person who's not even involved in the situation.
Well, here it is.
Isn't that the worst part of it all, though? Imagine if this was some just random guy that you've now smeared as being this insane troll. And then what happens if people like SWAT him or start going after him or his family thinking, oh, well, he deserves it. He's been doing all this evil stuff. And it's just some average Joe Blow. So Rich's defense, oh, I didn't know if it was real or not. You should probably be pretty sure if you're going to put out info on somebody or not, right?
That's right. It's a classic case of a content creator not taking the power that they have as being a public figure on the internet responsibly. He's just throwing it out there.
Some chips here.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're not only are you essentially doing completely immoral, likely illegal things, you're also putting other people's lives and livelihoods at risk, and you don't even know if the person you're doxing is the right person. I mean, that's like you did a $1,000 bet on a hand of blackjack, and you just felt like doubling down for no reason, and then you just bust. So I'm gonna go with a nice 1/3 of the stack of green chips is being taken away from Rich right now. 1/3 of the stack already coming out. He's less than halfway up, gone now. So,
damn.
But what the hell? I'm tired of this prick. Unquote.
I never doxed anybody. That was the funny thing. I never looked up anyone's information.
By the way, the fact that he has beds in there means not only did he like stop painting, but it's like just unpainted forever.
Did anything?
You put your bed back in an unpainted room?
No, but he swears on his son's life, and then he tells these lies that are easily disproved. He never looked into somebody's docs.
Right. He
never
doesn't
asked.
He doesn't even know what doxing means. Doxing is not the act of looking up the information. It's when you put it public and you put that person at risk. You're the one who posted the information publicly and put the person at risk. You did dox them. That was you, not the person who looked it up. You, Rich.
Wait, it's also 2 shades of red. Dark red and light red. It's not even the same red.
Thing to get anybody's information, that was just handed. That is all it was. I personally did not get anyone's information.
Why,
So,
why does he have to? Why does he have to be scratching his leg the entire time? Is he doing something else down there or what?
Yeah,
you know what's going on there.
Well, you know what they will say is that that's a nervous tick. That's a sign that he's responding. He's telling a lie, and this is his tell on that when he's telling a lie is he has something nervous going on down there. That's exactly what that
Good point. Really good point.
It is what it is.
Rich seems confused on what doxing is. Obtaining information is not doxing. Releasing it is doxing. The severity varies on the intent and widespread of the information.
Thank you, Joon.
Contrary to popular belief, doxing can be a crime.
Oh, is
In
he
the
there?
US, it is classified as cyberstalking and is exactly what Rich was doing. Specifically, posting information or spreading rumors about the victim on the internet or hiring private investigators. After Rich committed this crime, due to the reaction, he took it down, as explained in this Facebook comment. Quote, "Don't get it. People were freaking out. I wasn't threatening the person in the docs, and I wasn't the one who compiled it. But due to the reaction, I took it down.
So
I really just
that's
wanted
the
to see
thing.
if anyone..."
He didn't take it down because he realized it was wrong. He didn't take it down because he realized it could be harmful to others. He took it down because he was upset about the reaction he got online.
Exactly. Yep.
That's all he cares about. He has no integrity. He has no morals. This is not a person of character. And by the way, I have watched Rich's reaction to this documentary. It's how I watched it. And the entire time, he, instead of actually like admitting wrongdoing, he always tries to come up with some justification as to why it's okay. And at the same time, he also, after people call him out on that reason is bullshit, he then completely lays down and rolls over and begs for mercy. And it's like, buddy, can you just be accountable? Can you just be an adult? But that's how he gets away with it for so long.
Sorry, the chat wanted.
Targeting Rich, but also Big Cheese himself. For that reason, Rich uploaded a video with Big Cheese in an attempt to quell the unrest.
And while I was streaming, you know, the BC Crusaders, that's what they call themselves. How the hell you crusading me? But they call themselves the BC Crusaders. They spammed DDoS my Twitch page, a bunch of followers with my home phone number saying that my wife's a whore and then my mom has cancer and then says I have your mailing address and stuff like that. So it's been pretty much the cyber harassment, cyber attacking towards me.
What happened with Big Cheese and me, there was a business deal we had. It went sour.
Oh, by the way,
but
I just want to point out the collateral damage because of Rich's stupidity. Because Rich didn't pay this guy and screwed him over in that way, and then Rich handling the trolling in such a bad way, these guys then started messing with him, Big Cheese, who was completely innocent. Does Dickers feel bad about that? No, probably not.
Right. Again, he's not he doesn't understand the power he has as a content creator with a following. He does bad things, and not only does it affect him negatively, but it affects everyone around him in the sphere of anyone who's been associated with him, and he doesn't have any self-awareness that this is going to happen. It's terrible.
Watched it within, what would you say, 24 hours of it happening?
All this for $200, like, right? Someone in chat said that $200.
Pretty much.
Oh, and by the way, for all these instances, right, that he messed up on, have you noticed people have to hound him for like months before he's like, fine. It's like you hear it for like a day, you go, okay. No, it's 2 weeks. No, I didn't know.
And if we can move on from it, there's no reason for it to keep continuing. And I hope maybe if people realize, oh wow, Rich and Big Cheese have moved on from this, maybe it isn't as big of a deal as people are trying to make it out to be.
The top comments were criticizing Rich for bringing up the trolls once more. Quote, "No, why did you bring it up? The trolls were returned. And you just restarted the cycle, Rich. Rich, this was a bad idea."
This is the thing with Rich. He talks about like the Phil cycle or the Boogie cycle or the Wings cycle, but he completely ignores the fact he has a cycle as well, where he keeps feeding into it and getting these negative reactions over and over and over again, and he takes no responsibility for it whatsoever.
That's over the years. I will openly fess up and admit, I don't want to be a hypocrite here. I have taken troll bait. I have done similar things to this. The difference is I didn't then go out of my way to literally criticize everyone else who does it. I made the mistake. I changed for the better. I move on, but I'm not going to sit here and say, wow, you look at Rich who does it all the time. Look at Boogie who does it all the time. The only reason I'm doing this here tonight is because this motherfucker has done this for 10 years. He's talked shit about me. 10 fucking years, and I held my tongue. So now it's time for my chance to finally vent on this guy. So now he gets it all tonight, and that's why we're doing this.
Hell yeah, man.
Unquote. It's difficult to state what effect this video had on the Big Cheese Crusaders. What is known is that at this point...
Wait, has he been watching your... has he been streaming for 10 years watching you? I swear I never even saw that before. But
streaming, no, but making videos about me, about a decade. Yeah.
All
about
the
a
time.
decade of negative
Anytime
coverage.
Phil had any sort of controversy or anything, he would be the first one to try and make a buck off of it.
Yeah.
Those that were left in the movement were members that truly despised Rich, and as such, they continued to document Rich under a critical lens, seeking to spread word of his transgressions, the newest of which came from a Final Fantasy XIV review.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Rich of Review Tech USA, and this is going to be a very interesting video. Square Enix came up to me and asked me to play Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. I suggest you give this game a chance. I think
he's level 1.
I know. He just started.
I love this game. It's the best game. You're level 1.
So Phil, I think, will have a really good insight on this particular portion.
Okay.
Because this, I think, really is shady from Rich, and it really goes to show he has no credibility at all. All right, let's go.
I didn't even realize he's level 1 in the video.
Really enjoy it. So huge shout out to Square Enix for giving me an opportunity to play this game, and I think they have something awesome on their hands, and now I can see why this game has been praised by so many people.
Rich in the video praised the game, but it was only in the description and the comments that he stated he was sponsored by Square Enix to make this video. That in itself wasn't the entire reason this review was somewhat controversial. It was Rich's prior, unpaid statements about the game.
And they try too hard to be different, and the outcome is games like Final Fantasy XIII, Final Fantasy XIV, and the other garbage they come out with. They're trying to figure out.
So not only did he not even play it because he was still on the first level of the character he was playing as, but he's also hating on it, but now it's all of a sudden, it's the greatest game ever made. Okay.
About what it is. Maybe because they've made a bunch of crappy Final Fantasy games that no one cares about. But beyond the screw-ups they're making, let's talk about all these companies, because they're losing money making AAA games because they either try to rehash the same IP over and over again, or, they try to make a half-assed game with multiplayer and hope it sells 10 million units and it doesn't.
These were likely throwaway lines to emphasize the dislike of Square Enix and the years the videos were created. And being that Final Fantasy XIV is an MMO and changes year per year, Rich could have naturally changed his opinion as the game improved. Though the clips next to each other and the lack of disclosure inside the actual video made for more reason for trolls to dislike Rich, and closed out 2015. 2016 started off just as poorly for Rich. In January, he polled his Twitter audience asking them if he should make a Patreon.
Is like, what a grifter. What a shameless scumbag. Phil doesn't take, sponsorships like that from game companies or free copies anymore because it leads to implications of impropriety like that. And it's obvious that that's what happened. When Rich wasn't being paid, it was a piece of garbage. As soon as his pockets got lined, What a great MMO, everybody. I can't believe it. I thought these games were bad, but now I've magically learned to love them.
Well, as we know, Rich is a well-renowned MMO player who covers all of these games constantly and has a big wealth of information about them and totally didn't only play the game because he got paid.
Yeah. I bet you he's never even beat like an FF in his life, by the way.
No, won by a decent margin. Coincidentally, Keemstar posted this video about creators being greedy with their Patreons.
Like, why would you ask your fans for money when you could give money back to your fans? I mean, you're the one that's blessed.
This was a repeat of the situation with the BBC. Though Keemstar did not mention Rich by name, Rich immediately responded and assumed it was him that Keemstar was talking about. The two then argued about the ethics of donations before the conversation died down. That's when Keemstar told Rich he was making a general statement that was not specifically targeting him. From here, Rich apologized 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This apology lasted about an hour. Quote, LMAO. Okay, apology taken back. Keemstar, really, dude? I'm done after this, but wow. Unquote. Rich was not done after this, as below was a video calling Keemstar out for having a donate button on his stream page, as Rich was equating that to having a Patreon. The only person that could benefit from this nebulous argument was Keemstar, but Rich was too arrogant to see how this back and forth, his flip-flopping from apologizing to then taking the apology back, could hurt him.
Before everyone freaks out.
And he could have learned this lesson. He did the same thing with Jay, like the flip-flopping, the apology, then he's upset again, apology, upset again. And in an ironic twist, in the same circumstance, got used by Keemstar again, years later. Keemstar and Lolcow Live were the ones that made all the money on that show when Rich came on and assassinated Jay's character. So Dickers just learns nothing over the years. It hasn't grown at all.
I have no ill will against Keemstar. This isn't going to turn into some stupid thing.
This turned into a massive back and
what? So he like takes it back again?
Forth between Rich and Keemstar and eventually escalated into a debate.
Right? He's like, look at Keemstar, I take my apology back. Well, first of all, you apologized because you thought I was talking about you, okay? That's why you apologized, all right? But then you took my apology back because you found that I have a donate button on my stream. Rich, look at, you said just a little while ago that you're not going to be making a Patreon.
Yeah.
Are you 100% you're not going to be making a Patreon?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. Well, there it is.
Much.
He's not making a Patreon.
That's all Keem wanted. That's all Keem wanted was to stop him from being able to make money. And he succeeded. Rich played himself trying to get some sort of moral high ground about donations while taking donations. Just silly. And played himself out of thousands of dollars a month.
Keem is good at doing this. He creates a win-win situation for himself. Either Rich says, I will never do a Patreon, so now, haha, it's a guy I don't like, he's not going to make money. Or if Rich ever goes back on that and makes a Patreon, now I got drama videos to make about this two-faced liar. So he does this constantly, and people fall for it every effing time. Do not have any association with this man. He's always going to turn it into something to benefit him.
Belted Keemstar.
Look, you manipulated the situation, you lied 3 times.
Why not just be like, how about you, Keem? I'll make a Patreon if I want. And then just like hang up. Like, but he has to always react and everyone has to like me. Right?
Already went over this 100 times.
But he pleases
and
nobody.
You know what? Now I've backed you in a corner and you're not making a Patreon, so I'll take it as a win. Anyone else?
Take it as a win.
Take it as a win. There it is. Ring it up. Keemstar dub.
Keemstar dub.
Say whatever the fuck they want. I'll take it as a win.
Yeah, of course you're going to take it as a win. You're like making these things and putting them in there to make it as a win. The bottom line is this.
You're not making a Patreon.
Semantics aside, throughout the debate, it was Keemstar's goal to bar Rich from making a Patreon, in which he succeeded, lest he go back on his word. And if this happened in February instead of January 2016, Keemstar would have had more ammunition to use. Not because of the Patreon, but because of these 2 tweets. Quote, I think it's time I released at the RTU Critic's personal info. What do you guys think? Let's have some fun. At the RTU Critic, I'll make sure to add that pic of your kid to the docs too.
So, thoughts, Phil?
Pictures of this guy's kids.
I don't even know how to react to that one. That's like, now you've gone out of the realm of, you know, feasibility, something fair, you know, okay, fight fire with fire. Now you're literally bringing in people's family members. That's, I don't even know. Oh, by the way, I
really
forgot
disgusting.
to
That's
remove
a big
nice
chunk. Yeah,
stack of
that's
chips
a big
That's
chunk
a
of good
for the
stuff.
Keemstar. This this is for the Keemstar portion.
Whoa.
That's for the Keemstar portion. And now when you're bringing someone's family into a fight like that, now you lose another stack of chips right there. Okay, so that's the double.
It's not just a family member. It's not. It's somebody's son or their daughter. It's their child. It's somebody who's underage. It's somebody who's innocent. Say what you will about this troll. Maybe he had it coming. Maybe he was a bad guy. Maybe he wasn't. But not only are you going to reveal his information, but then you're threatening his child. It's about as low down and scummy as it can possibly get. But he still thinks he has a moral high ground over you, Phil. He thinks he has a moral high ground over everybody. He's just
I'm not like Phil Burnell. No way am I like Phil Burnell. You're right. We're watching this. You're way fucking worse than Phil Burnell, Rich.
Yeah. But he tries to paint himself as this normal, everyday, average guy. How many normal, everyday, average people threaten to dox someone's kid online?
Oh, it's all the time, right? Daily. Everyone's on.
They're a platform of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, right? That's totally normal.
Publicly, too.
Not
like,
unhinged at all.
Let's have some fun. He calls that fun, by the way, at the end of this week.
Mind you, let's point out also on this. Rich constantly talks about how he has kids, and so therefore he can't be trolled, and you can't go after his business because he has kids. Didn't stop him going after this guy's kid.
Yikes.
So when he tries to claim that moral high ground about his daughter or about this or about that, just realize it's a complete facade. Just realize it's totally performative, and he has no integrity as a man.
This a good one, unquote.
By the way, he has 3 quote tweets because they're like, "What are you doing? This is crazy. Stop."
Rich claims this was in retaliation to the RTU critics' doxing and harassing of his family, which included his children, even calling Rich when he was at the gym. Though after it came out that Shadow's government...
If it's wrong when he does it to you, how can it be right when you do it to him?
Right.
Like, this is the thing. Like, this is the golden rule.
He is burning down everything around him with his actions and doesn't have any self-awareness that he's doing it. He just thinks it's fair because they did it to me, I'll do it back. Dude, there's going to be nothing left. It's going to be an empty war zone.
An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind.
That's right.
Someone in the chat says, Rich being at the gym is the biggest lie.
Oh, boy.
Had a criminal history, Rich cut ties with Shadow and tried to delete as much as he could of what happened. These tweets were soon deleted, though they are still visible through the Wayback Machine alongside the remnants of the RTU critics' campaign against Rich. There were also videos that fans of Rich made combating the RTU critic. This fan made a rap song celebrating the dogs of the RTU critic.
You can't run, you can't hide, you're not going to stop my review
That had to be Rich. No.
I mean, if it's not Rich, it's something that he's encouraging through his behavior. And that's absolutely as unhinged and crazy as anything his trolls were doing to him.
But that's what Rich would do because he's like into rap, right? Making beats. I'm just saying,
Funny,
allegedly.
I mean, we have no evidence, but it's circumstantial and it lines up with what we know today. So.
Yep. Yep.
Pride. You could have got boxed, but instead you got doxed.
The RTU critic and Review Hell USA are the same person, alongside a different creator known as Sierra Air.
Hey guys, in this video I'm going to expose a traitor to the Big Cheese Crusaders.
Sierra was not nearly as successful in getting reactions from Rich, but they were successful in keeping whatever was left of the Big Cheese Crusaders together. Clear by the catalog of videos, Sierra was not a very sane person, as it is not typical for someone to upload this many videos about the police or just McDonald's employees harassing them. Regardless, Sierra did get some notoriety from those looking into Rich's most dedicated opposition.
Now, this person that he's adding in this tweet is not exactly as subtle about the threats he makes. I'm in Ireland. You can't catch me. Rich's personal life will be targeted until he quits. I don't care what the f you think about me. I want that man dead in a bog.
Rich's outbursts continue to encourage his trolls. In this livestream, he called one the F word.
Dude, I really, like, I don't care, man.
Oh, by the F
And-
word, we're talking about a slur against homosexual people. So just keep in mind, Rich talks about how progressive he is, how his politics are so righteous, he's so clean. But here he is using a derogatory slur towards the LGBT community. And when you couple that with him stalking and humiliating and intimidating a poor trans woman at Walmart, it starts to be a recurring pattern of behavior, not to mention his sexy Coco character, which is a clear gay stereotype, along with, stereotypes about African Americans. It's basically a minstrel show that he's performing, the equivalent of digital blackface. So just understand that when Rich tries to virtue signal about his progressive politics and how enlightened he is, he's actually filthy and dirty on it.
Whoa.
Also, we should say this is now 2015. This is not 2009, 2010, early YouTube, where everyone was pushing the envelope with that kind of risque content. This is well into this guy's career. He's successful. He's making money. He still thinks it's acceptable to act like this.
The thing is if I block you, then you say I'm a pussy. If you stay here, you annoy the shit out of me. Like, why don't we just meet somewhere? If you have that much of a problem with
like,
oh, you're being mean. Let's fight. Like,
there's mean words online. Let's escalate to violence. And you think the troll's the one who's insane? The troll's just getting his kicks in your chat because you're losing your mind and spiraling. You know what I mean? Like,
he's a content creator. He's not a prize fighter. He's not going to really fight anyone in real life. This is just a way for him to make himself look more like a big man online, and everyone thinks, oh, I'll get more sympathy. Maybe more people will like me if I act like this.
But he's surrendering the moral high ground when he goes to threatening violence and using slurs.
True. Yep.
Let's meet somewhere and we could quote unquote discuss it. If you got that much of a problem, dude, I'm more than willing to meet. You name a place, I'll meet you there.
What a stupid thing, because they could just name any given place and not show up and then waste his time.
Yep.
Like, imagine thinking some anonymous person is actually going to meet you where they say they're going to meet you. And by the way, you don't know this person from they really could be some crazed stalker that shows up with a gun and kills you. Then what?
Don't ever challenge people. I bet you can't do this. I bet you won't do this. Well, they will.
Yep.
Buddy, settle down.
And we could have a discussion.
Oh.
We could discuss anything you want. I will meet you. I will put a fucking flag on my car saying I'm rich and we can meet there. I don't know, man, but you seem that you are such a fucking loser that you come on here all the fucking time, and it's annoying. And if I block you, you get...
I mean, that's him, by the way, threatening violence against a member of a protected community, of a protected class, a member of the LGBT community, according to him. He's using a slur against and threatening violence. Very shameful behavior.
Yeah.
Get pissed. If I unblock you, you annoy the shit out of me.
This was the pinnacle of controversy for Rich at the time. His strategy of doxing his worst trolls and publicly making amends with Big Cheese seemingly worked in his favor. The worst that was happening to him was when he ate all that a Wall Street Journal article fed him about PewDiePie, an article that was filled with false information decrying PewDiePie as anti-Semitic. Rich quickly took this video down and issued an apology.
So he's fine with it, threatening and saying slurs and stuff and doing whatever the hell he wants.
When he says slurs, it was a different time.
Yeah.
I'm a changed man. When somebody else says slurs, Nazi, cancel them, take away their livelihood, smear their name.
The same year, I think, or the year after. Yeah, it was like the same year, 2015. It's not even different time, 2010 or whatever.
Again, another example of Dickers getting to double dip with his apology. He gets to make clickbait ad revenue off the first video, which is wildly inaccurate. And then when he gets corrected, he's allowed to make money again, issuing the correction and apology.
Right. And the thing is, I've seen the clip, and I did, at the time, not that anyone cared. I wasn't a big content creator at this time. I talked a little bit about it on my streams too, how I felt that the impact of something that PewDiePie does could actually legitimately hurt other content creators because it could actually hurt the monetization of YouTube as a whole. But I watched the clip in context first to understand what was said. I didn't just read a Wall Street Journal article and then start talking shit out of my ass. I knew exactly how he said it on the stream, and that's when I commented. Sounds like he just didn't bother. Again, he just rips articles. Oh, it sounds like a good one. I'll just read this one on my stream and talk out of his ass. Who cares if it's right or wrong? I'll just make a correction later. Double profits.
Exactly.
Time for me to eat a whole bunch of fucking crow right now.
In Rich's apology, he still got important information about PewDiePie incorrect, like stating that PewDiePie wore an SS officer's uniform when the costume he wore was clearly not of German origin. But for this to be Rich's most controversial video for at least a year was an improvement. Though all good things must come
Rich
to an end.
in his
And
version tries to say the obvious implication was that he was a Nazi for wearing that, but it is actually, I believe, a USSR uniform. So I don't know how he even gets there, but whatever.
I have a hat that's a parody of M. Bison's hat from Street Fighter.
Okay, yeah.
I literally put it on when I play with M. Bison playing Street Fighter. Yet people still say dumb shit like it's a Nazi hat. Dude, it's the most generic hat. There's no SS on it. It's, what are you talking about? It's meant to be like a parody hat that you would wear for certain situations. But this is what the internet does. And he fell right into that trap of jumping right into what was controversial and talking about
it. It could just as easily be communist coded. It could be North Korean coded, right?
Sure, right.
It doesn't necessarily, like lots of dictators wear caps like that.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's Nazi coded, but whatever.
Yeah.
Himself with more problems, some of his own creation, others falsified to destroy his character.
So let me get this straight. Rich cries when he gets doxxed, but likes it when it happens to other people.
Gee, I wonder why I flagged that down. I don't know.
And he's given out, the state that I live in.
At least try to come after me for something I can't instantly debunk.
He also gives out my last name.
Review Tech, who is Anna Doyle? I see people mentioning her in the chat.
On November 1st, 2017, Rich finally committed and announced he was making a Patreon. With the apocalypse cutting into his revenue, and with his videos full of colorful language and unsavory subject matter, this is what he offered to remain uncensored. While there could have been issues with trolls pointing out him going back on his word and creating Patreon, as long as Rich did not address it, no one would care.
Exactly.
For the next couple of months, hundreds...
But he's gotta say something.
Oh boy.
God,
you know he can't resist. You know he can't resist.
would subscribe to Rich's Patreon, as he would thank them for its success. Once it passed over $1,000 a month and remained there for a period, Rich made a promise for patron-only streams, but failed to give any details within a timely manner. Then Rich on a live stream stated this.
With the stream guys, in terms of doing like an exclusive stream for patrons, I don't know if, I know I put that on there. I don't know if I want to do that because I feel like I just feel like I'm being unfair to the rest of my subscribers.
But you promised the people who paid you to do it. So
it would be unfair to the people who don't pay? Like, why offer a Patreon in the first place if you're not going to offer any benefits to the people that are actually paying you and allowing you to make your content, right? Like,
you've promised already.
I understand the argument, all right? A lot of people over the years have said to me, would you ever make subscription-based content behind a paywall? And I'm like, I could do that, and there's nothing wrong with doing it. I just prefer having everything public. Everyone has an equal chance to watch my content. If you like the content enough, then please come out and support it, right? It's supposed to be a willing thing. So I get the argument, but then why are you opening the Patreon then? Like, what are you doing with it? Because that's the whole point, is that you're supposed to take that money to finance special projects, maybe equipment. Like, so what is he going to do with this money if he's not going to do the exclusive content that people want?
It's just flip-flopping back and forth, back and forth. And the thing is, he never had to offer that in the first place. You see, he never even had to offer the streams or anything. He could have just said, this is basically the equivalent of a tip jar to support my content going ad-free. That's all he had to say. But he got greedy and was trying to bait more subscriptions to his Patreon by offering content that he wasn't willing to deliver due to a backlash. So it's very cowardly and very self-serving in a number of ways. It's just the way he does business.
This video was archived and uploaded on a channel that went by Anna Doyle. This is believed to be a sock account of Review Hell USA. The video showing the unfulfilled Patreon reward was titled Review Tech USA Undelivered Patreon Reward Promises. The only reason it is prominent now is because Rich addressed it.
Now the video is called Review Tech USA Undelivered Patreon Reward Promise.
none of these like detractors that he had or trolls that he had any sort of viewership really whatsoever. Like they would have a subscription base of 600, 700, 800, maybe a couple thousand people, compared to a 500,000 million subscriber at one point juggernaut enterprise. When he platforms and addresses this, he signal boosts it to his whole audience.
Yep.
And so people who never would have thought anything of it suddenly go, maybe he is wrong. Maybe he is an idiot. Maybe this is a scam. It's just totally demented behavior, backwards thinking.
And generally when this jackass makes videos, I ignore them. I have better things to do. Let them say whatever the hell they want to say. But when you try to make me seem like I'm being a thief, I gotta step in and say something, especially when I have documented evidence proving that I'm not.
Rich's evidence used
Just
to
move on. Ignore it. Move on. Just do your thing.
Doyle was in the form of post that stated he was committing to Patreon-only streams. But this was in March. Review Tech introduced the idea in January and failed to deliver any streams for those 2 months. This issue is so small that it is difficult to believe many, if any at all, of Rich's supporters will care about the minutiae of this. Right. Anna Doyle's true goal, as it has always been, was to troll Rich, to get a response. Yeah. And once again, they got what they wanted.
But to everyone out there who's saying that I'm being Panhandler Tech USA and making 8 billion videos about me, I got something for you too. Panhandle this.
This was just the beginning. In April, the 1316 Killer, a creator that had long criticized Rich, received this screenshot which prompted him to make this video.
So just to let everybody know, I do not have Twitter and I do not have Facebook. I actually put that in a skit that I made today, which will be going up. I don't know if I'll post this today or tomorrow, but take a good look at that.
On screen was allegedly the 1316 Killer's docs. Rich responded by denying that he doxed him. Further tweets demonstrate how the screenshot could have been faked by editing the web page's source code. And as dedicated as his trolls are in archiving every misstep, none of them provided an archive link to the tweet Rich doxing the 1316 Killer. There is no evidence behind this happening. And being that the 1316 Killer was sent this screenshot means that...
This is proof this is not a hit piece. This is not something that was made to smear Rich.
Right.
This is Joon the King doing his own research and coming to the conclusion that Rich wasn't responsible for this.
Right.
So I don't know how Rich can complain about the rest of it.
Here's the thing. Because he actively did engage in doxing previously, that's what made that believable. If he hadn't done it before, then you would be like, oh, I don't believe it. But of course, the first thing people are going to say is, this guy's done it already, so now I believe that he did it this time too. He made his own bed for that. Like, it's his own fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no proof that the text was unaltered. This is not to say that Rich was completely uninvolved in drama. As tensions were rising between Rich and his most dedicated trolls, mysteriously their videos were disappearing. Like Anna Doyle's, which is when Rich was asked to show his flagging history.
Will you show your YouTube history report like Monday Matt did, because there is rumors you reported Anna Doyle? I'm not showing any reports. I didn't report him, but I'm not showing any reports.
So both of those things
With
were
Rich's
lies.
associate,
Of course.
being
Not
exposed
only
for
would
flagging
he
videos.
show his flag history, but he also did report Anna Doyle, so he's just a total liar. So
Critical of them, this became the new spearhead against Rich and was utilized by Keemstar in 2018. In an unrelated drama, Keemstar was on creator Andy Warski's stream.
There you are, so young and handsome, huh?
Wow.
Lambasting Rich for his transgressions.
And every time I see a video from you, it's just stupid fucking opinions. I don't know why you're on the fucking internet anymore. You're dumb, you get everything wrong, you say dumb shit over and over again. I'm so sick of hearing your dumb fucking opinions. You need to get smarter before you come on my fucking platform on YouTube and spread your bullshit. Because I'm sick of it. You're dumb. Get smarter.
Thank you.
In this conversation, Rich was on the back foot, and so he wanted to make peace with Keemstar. Keemstar was willing under one condition.
Okay, I've calmed down. I understand that you want to make peace and that you're sorry. Olive branch out there if you show your flag history.
Rich, now willing to show his flagging history, pulled it up for all to see.
See, he was so desperate. I just want to point out, He was so desperate to impress Keemstar, to just get a crumb of clout from Keemstar's table, that he was willing to completely humiliate himself, reveal that he went against his stated principles, reveal that he was a liar and that he had lied to his audience who trusted him about this stuff. He was willing to do all of that just to seek Keemstar's approval.
Again, every documentary I watch has Keemstar in it. That has anything to do with YouTube. And it's like every single interaction with Keemstar is like, didn't work out in your favor, didn't work out in your favor, didn't work out in your favor. How did you not know that interacting with this man was going to blow up in your face badly? It's like...
it's so funny that you say that, by the way, because it's like, you're right. Every, like, I'll say 95% of documentaries, at some point, Key makes an appearance at some point.
And by the way, I just want to point out, there's no chance in hell that Rich will react to this reaction that we've done.
Oh, no.
Because
of course not.
in so many ways, we've just pointed out exactly how full of shit that he is, and he has no arguments to the contrary. So he can pause a documentary and cope, but he couldn't do anything with this additional commentary we've added, and we won't be seeing a react from him. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
By the way, someone says Keem is the Stan Lee of YouTube drama.
He has a cameo in every one. That's right.
Wait.
Video not available.
There
So
it
yeah,
is. Look
some
at
were
this.
deleted. See when they're
He shows this on my stream. All the flagging.
deleted.
Some were deleted.
And
Those
there's
are probably from like
18 there's like 18 different videos that he flagged down, at least. And a lot of them are from Anna Doyle and others. And these are people that their only crime was making fun of him. That's it.
So he self-exposed himself. Why did he think he should do that? Like, what was the point of that? He knew this was going to look like this. So why would he show it?
Yeah.
Well, and he stated the exact same thing. He goes, nobody should show their flagging history. I won't be showing it because it can only lead to bad things. It can only lead to you looking stupid. And then in order to please Keemstar, he just bent over and did it.
5 fucking years ago.
All right, so Review Tech actually assaulted someone. DSP
Yes.
Gaming.
Gee, I wonder why I flagged that down. I don't know.
Wait, what was that? I missed it.
Anna Doyle.
What did he say about me? DSP Gaming? Is that what he said?
I wonder why I flagged that down. I don't know.
Review Tech. Who is?
Wait. Hang on. What did I?
5 fucking years ago.
All right, so Review Tech actually assaulted someone. DSP Gaming.
He flagged you?
He flagged me? I didn't even know he flagged me. What did he flag? What video is that?
It's too blurry, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. What the hell video is he flagging on mine? What the hell did I ever see about him?
I
That he
wonder
would flag
why-
it?
Yeah, no, it's way too blurry.
What
I
the
flagged
shit?
that down.
And again, this is a guy I literally didn't know anything about. I wanted no association with him.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe you were just in the title, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'll be good faith. I'll be good faith here.
Review Tech. Who is Anna Doyle? I see people mentioning her in the chat.
That is a dude who has put out my personal information.
Whose name?
Put out, and he.
Terrible man.
And honestly, I wasn't even though I did flag him once.
I have no
wasn't
idea
even
what's
the one who got his
happening.
channel taken down.
Rich had lied. He did in fact flag Anna Doyle, aka Review Hell USA. What's more, with Rich
And he was
exposed,
caught.
Keemstar saw the opportunity to dig the knife in further, insinuating that he only goes after people when they are weak.
And that's
Most of
true.
the shit that I got.
That's true. And that's the only reason I think he truly does go after you so much, Phil, is that it's perceived that you're weak because you're generous and you don't respond to him. But it's less so that you're perceived as weak and more so that he sees a whole community of people that he can easily get to watch his videos that pre-exist, right? So it's an easy target. It's like, there's all these people who are going to suck me off for doing this. It's not like he's going out into the world and finding somebody that he has an issue with and calling it out. He's looking for people that it's easy to go after, that it's easy to get approval for going after. He would never go against what the mainstream opinion is on somebody because that would be damaging to his business potentially.
Yeah, I agree.
From you came under like in the year 2016 when the whole internet hated me and everybody thought my career was over.
No,
and as soon as I regained, my channel, and now you want to be sorry.
No, I'm not like that.
Though this did provide yet another reason for trolls to continue their campaign against Rich, the internet at large did not care. What helped Rich avoid any of this backlash was his massive success. Shortly after this conversation, Rich had his best month on YouTube ever due to some extremely successful videos. This was Rich's shield. Over the next couple years, his videos would easily dominate anyone coming out against him despite his continued missteps. From a livestream covering January 6 to his dating profile being leaked. There was even a video theorizing he had gastric bypass surgery due to his massive weight loss. All of it forgotten because his own videos continue to dominate the search results. In 2022, he even hit 1 million subscribers. It was around this time that he had been using marijuana and had been wanting to significantly lessen his usage.
Like, there's a lot of times like, oh shit, I gotta stream soon, time to get stoned, and I'm like, oh no, that's not how I want to be. You know what I mean? Two things, like I said, I'll have it a few times a year like I do drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm anti-weed now. Like, dude, I think they should make it legalized federally. I'll have it a few times a year, and it did a lot for me.
While Rich had these desires and sought the benefits, like possibly increasing motivation, tragedy struck Rich's life, making it more difficult to quit, or do anything else for that matter, as this happening required his entire attention.
It's crazy when he says that he didn't want to be that guy, and now he's become a guy that's high on every single live stream he's on, and like massively high, like to a disturbing degree with these edibles, where he's barely able to form coherent sentences. And when he looked back on this footage, he said that he was crazy in the past.
Yeah.
Which is a big time cope and really sad.
Oh, we forgot something.
Mm.
He reviewed his flag history with the world. He got exposed. That's some more shit.
Yeah,
Man. We
that's
forgot all about
definitely-
that. How did we forget about that? We got so into the video. A nice ginormous stack of green chips for that. When you felt yourself and exposed that you're an idiot to the world and been lying. So there you go. So now we are down, just to show everyone in the audience here, we are currently down to 1 stack and a very itty bitty little bit of green chips left there for the rest of this documentary.
Oh,
So
man, he's almost
we're getting
looking at
there.
the belt.
And we're getting into the meaty arcs, right? We're getting into the good ones now. So
Yes.
this is going to be interesting.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news. His daughter is in the ICU at the moment, and he is unable to make videos on the channel, and he's unable to live stream.
Now-
He's going through a lot.
Pause. I want to point this out, and we have to go to our supplemental material about this.
Okay.
So if you go into our, okay, yeah, okay, all right. If you go into our miscellaneous folder, which I'm hoping he can still hear me. If you go into our miscellaneous folder, and you go to at the very bottom of it, we can see here Rich admitting that he only visited 3 times his sick daughter in the hospital.
First thing, I saw this in the chat yesterday, but I purposely didn't react to it because the only way
But now I'm going to react to it.
this could be
Which he
found out
doesn't
is if
have to
someone
tell
very
anybody
close
this
to me
stuff.
was talking, and I will find out who that is, and I'm not talking on the internet. That when my daughter was gravely ill, that I only visited her 3 times in the hospital. That is accurate. You want to know why that is? And I will quote the
So
physician
pause.
that told me.
That's over a year. Over the course of a year, he only visited his daughter, who went blind, 3 times in the hospital. Now, his ex-fiance, as he wants to be very clear, wasn't his ex-wife, was there constantly, along with other family members. But Rich, because he's a big-time YouTuber, could only find 3 days out of a year. But let's hear his reasoning, which, mind you, would also apply to all of the family that were there all the time.
There were people in the house that were sick constantly with colds, with other things. I had my sons full time. I was driving them to and from school, which was a total of an hour and a half per way each day. 45-minute drive one way, 45-minute drive back. I had to do it twice a day. If anyone went near her with a cold, it could have been catastrophic because she was on immune suppressants, and that's why we could not visit her as much as we wanted to.
By
So
we, he
everyone's
means
saying
me,
that I just went to see her.
because his fiance did visit her a lot. That's just, it's a very sad situation. But I just want to point out the way that Rich does manage his time is not to make time for his family, really.
Well, I don't want to comment yet because I actually don't know what happened to his daughter, and I get the feeling that's what
Okay.
we're getting to. Like, I want to hear
Yeah.
the whole situation before I formulate an opinion here. You know, it's-
All right.
Emotionally, of course.
That was Rich's dedicated editor, Jay, host of the channel JKB that was formerly 3KB or 3 kilobytes. In Rich's absence, Jay would take up the majority of responsibilities of the channel, but this went on longer than initially expected. Rich's daughter was thought to only need about 1 month of hospital stay, though that was less and less becoming the case.
My daughter, my youngest daughter, Mackenzie, is in the hospital right now with Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which is rare within itself. There's like 20,000 cases or less each year. The main reason why I'm making this video is that things are going to be different on this channel probably until I'm saying realistically she's going to be 2 months. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. This is the worst thing I've ever been through.
After several months of turmoil, now in July, the worst of it seemed to be over. But Rich, now being a bit more active on his channel, reflected on his
I
content.
do want to point out one other
Unfortunately,
thing
to put
as
it
well,
lightly.
and that is that Jay stepped up and did live streams when Rich couldn't, and that Jay was there and supported him during all of this. And
Right.
then just a few months later to turn around and stab him in the back is really quite something.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know anything about Stevens-Johnson syndrome. So sadly, I can't really comment on this situation because I don't know what would have caused him to not visit the daughter for 3 times in a year, I guess he admitted.
Yeah.
He's claiming, for what he said, there were people who had colds, she was on suppressors, and it was too much of a risk. Maybe that's the case, maybe not. Here's the thing, and this is where I said this at the very beginning of this. We have the right to differ of opinion. In this case, I'm abstaining from making a comment because I don't know the ins and outs of this disease. I don't know his personal life situation. I'm not going to stomp on the guy for this situation because I just don't know enough about it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm not. People have done this kind of shit to me, and I know the full situation, and I can't tell the world because it's private shit. So in this case, I'm not going to stomp on him for this. I'm abstaining
Just
from
one
comment.
thing to tell you, Phil, during this time period, he did have time for 800 hours of Elden Ring.
Well, I mean, if he can't, if there were, again, only thing I could say is if there was a real reason he couldn't go because he felt it was too much of a risk, I can understand that. But again, I don't know. I don't know anything about the disease. I can't comment. Maybe I'll actually do some research on
It's
it
a
now to try
very
to find out more.
charitable, very benevolent of you, Phil.
It
'cause
is, yeah.
you could tear into him, but you are taking the high ground, and that's commendable.
Well, I don't think it's the high
And
ground. I
that's
just think
an
it's the right thing to
understatement.
do. If you're uninformed, you shouldn't
Yes.
talk out of your ass. And I've done that in the
Yeah.
past, and I'm not going to talk out of my ass tonight.
I've had different plans for me. So why?
The thing I'll say about this is he'll attack people, right? He'll attack whatever, say whatever the hell he wants, and all this stuff. And the moment people attack him back, he's like, "I have a daughter. I have a family."
One
You
more
can't do
thing.
this to
One
me.
more thing I want to add because I think it does fit this section. Let's go to the clip "Fight with Mom," because I think it gives us some insight into his parenting and into his relationship with his family. So this
Joon didn't put this in the video. This one,
No,
he
no.
didn't. This is
I
huge. Everyone talks
know.
about this one.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm shocked. That's not in there.
Yeah.
he was
about
being
it.
very, very nice, not bringing in his family at all. But because Rich doesn't respect other people's families, I don't think his should be out of bounds when it's on his own public live stream. And he, at any point, by the way, with the clip we're about to watch, he could have muted his mic, he could have turned off his camera, he could have shut down his live stream, but he chose to show the world this side of himself. All right.
Okay.
When you're just going on and on and on about it, and then you say something like Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn were not there for you to like, no. What? What happened?
Did you get my text?
No, what's up?
She's been screaming since you left, Zach. You can't do this, Rich. Zachary keeps calling. She is going crazy, the baby. Did you home hear her?
No, I did not.
You gotta put her to sleep first, then do.
I can't because then they got up at 4 a.m.
But Rich, you've been doing it.
All right, I can't.
Pause the stream. You know, like mute it. hey guys, be right back. No, all in front of the show, all for show.
What do you make of this clip so far, Phil?
Well, I saw this a while ago. Someone had submitted this to me to react to at one point ages ago. And at first, I'll be honest, I didn't understand the context because I don't know anything about Rich and the audio wasn't this good. This is like better audio. I can actually hear what they're saying now.
Yeah.
So now that I'm understanding the conversation, it makes a lot more sense of what's going on here. Now, again, I'm not one to feel like mightier than thou when you're talking about your family and stuff like that. But I agree. I don't know what would have caused the situation to happen the way that it did. But the moment that you have an intrusion in your workplace, your stream or whatever, right? And you know it's serious. Well, first of all, you should have something in place. So if there's an emergency, you and your loved ones or whoever could intrude your work, you know what's going on. So for example, my wife and I have talked about this. If something's going wrong, she's going to knock on the door hard. She's going to open the door and look at me. And then I know, okay, and I'll mute the stream and then I can talk to her about something important. You should always have that plan in place. I don't know how this guy is a full-time content creator and he had no plan in place if there's an emergency to deal with it. That's kind of confusing to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe this is the only time this has ever happened in his entire history where someone had to come in. I mean, I had people coming in telling me the cops are outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're getting swatted. We got to go outside. So I have a plan in place. So definitely, this is not professional. He needs to have a way to handle it. Now, as for what's going on, the only thing I can interpret is that either he has a child in the house or a child that he put to bed, and now the child is still awake, or basically something parental duties here.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it properly. The kid's having a fit. And now whoever that is with him in the house, which I'm sure we're about to find out, is texting him saying, no, you have to deal with the child first. You can't get on stream. That's ridiculous.
Just to provide you context, that's his mother walking in.
Okay.
Right. So he lives with his parents because his parents gifted him their house.
Okay. I've heard some of this recently on some of the content that you put out, so I know kind of half story.
When Rich live streams, his parents take care of his kids. And this is his daughter who is sick, who's calling out for him and wants him to put her to bed. But Rich has more important things to do. He has a live stream and getting high.
Okay.
I'm literally in the middle. I can't right now.
She's going nuts.
Okay, I can't right now.
You should have put her to sleep first.
I can't do that.
You've been doing it.
Okay, pause the video. Pause the video.
Yep.
Why can't he do something right now? That's your family member. That's more important than what you're doing here. You have an audience, sure. This is your job, sure. If there's an emergency, if something serious is going on, go handle it. You're going to look better to your audience if you handle the problem than if you don't. You know, even if it's all about looks for him. I don't even know the situation with him and his family members, but just for optics, dude, you now are being exposed that there's a problem in your house and you're going to ignore it to do your stream. You were talking about Olivia Munn. No one gives a fuck about Olivia Munn and Morgan Webb and shit. That's not important. That's frivolous shit you're talking to your audience about. Go handle the family drama and then come back. And when people say, what happened? You say, none of your business. Sorry it was intruding. Let's continue. If he had done that, none of the drama would have come out of this situation. But instead, he's telling her to leave.
Yeah,
get
exactly.
out.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst way to handle that kind of shit. Absolutely terrible way to handle anything, especially when you have a public face to the internet and now everyone's going to call you out for it. I mean, that's just, I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he's just, again, maybe this is the first time this has happened in his whole career, and he's just so blindsided by it and outright embarrassed, shocked, godsmacked that he doesn't know how to handle it. So his way to handle it is to not handle it. Get out. I'll deal with it later, right? Maybe the easiest way. I don't know. But the camera's on, the mic's on, people are going to hear it. I mean, this is really, out of all the things we were seeing in this documentary, I would say the number one worst thing so far was the actual doxing. And number two, this is probably the second worst clip we've seen of everything here.
Definitely.
Oh, I know, but I don't know what to say. He texted you. I texted you.
Then someone's going to have to take her for now then. Now this
Someone.
is going to be all over the internet now. Thank you.
But that's not his mom's fault.
Yeah.
That's his fault.
So there you go, all the comments that happened now because he did this live on stream.
No, it's all right.
Wow.
Don't worry about it.
See, because what's happened now, reality just hit him in the face, and he realized it just happened live. He's like, oh shit, I just made a grade A fuck up, you know?
Of course they're going to clip. Who gives a f? They're going to clip that. I don't care.
He
But
obviously
I wish people would
does.
know not to.
Yeah. I mean, he literally sarcastically to his mother said, "Oh, thanks, this is gonna be on the internet now." So he absolutely cares that this just happened.
She's given him a tough time going to sleep. The other two are asleep.
His audience kind of knows, you know,
Yeah.
what's going on with the daughters or whatever here.
But what was I gonna say?
Was this before or after his daughter got very ill?
I think it was after.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, and it let them say whatever. My children are watched. It's not that I was with them all day. You know.
But it should never really come to this point where you're justifying this stuff to an audience.
He doesn't have to. He shouldn't be justifying it. It's ridiculous. The behavior is just, you know, there's no way you can spin that. And it's it's actually okay. No, it's like no one's gonna watch that and be like, that was okay what he did.
Since we're on the topic of this, let's quickly show Phil these other two clips that are about a minute each. It's the top one, scamming parents out of their home, and then selling the family home. So this is how Rich got the home that he lives in now. He's gonna explain it.
Parents are perfectly independent. That has nothing to do with it. It's a 2-family home. I have my own side. I have a place for my kids in there, and they have their side.
Yeah.
So man, I mean, yeah, and it's just a good situation. On top of it too, when my kids visit, it would be next to. I would either have to pay for a sitter, which probably would be more money. That I would make the days I work on YouTube.
Pause. What do you think of that, Phil?
I'm just like, I'm listening to it and it's like, dude, you said how many years ago in this documentary we're watching, you said you don't share your personal information and stuff with the public. That's the worst thing you can do because then it's broad, you have to separate. You have to separate that. Here he is how many years later? Because that was like, what, 2010, 11, 12, and this was very recent, correct? Like a couple of years ago or something like that?
Yeah.
He not only didn't learn his lesson, he is completely exposing his living situation, all this personal shit to the internet. He knows he has tons of trolls. He knows he has these people who've done malicious things to him before and have done things to not only hurt him, but all the people around him in his circle. So he never learns his lesson, which, as we've already talked about, that's true lolcow behavior.
Yeah,
they don't learn. They just keep making the same mistakes over and over. They never improve, and that's why people find them entertaining to watch, because you always will get the same ridiculous result from a situation they totally should have learned from in the past. So I don't even care about his living situation with his parents and who owns the house or what, but why are you talking about this on your public stream?
I mean, he's saying that he can't even afford a babysitter with the money that he makes from his show.
Yeah.
So it has to go to his parents. And then the question is, if that's the case, then maybe you should find another line of work.
Time to find a job.
Here's the thing. Here's because people ask me this. I actually can add a lot to this discussion right now. As a content creator for 16 years, all the time people say to me, well, I don't understand, Phil. If things are financially tight with you right now, why don't you go get another job? You guys have said that on your stream because I've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, you said that. There is no way that I could quit this job and go get another job. I couldn't even get 2 jobs right now that would get as much money as me doing this full time. That's just the truth. I haven't been out of the job market now for 13 years. It was late 2010, so almost 14 years. No one's going to hire a 42-year-old guy at a high-paying job when I'm out of the job market for that long. I would be shooting myself in the foot to quit this job and go out and try to get 1 or 2 other jobs, okay? 100%. That's why. Now, here's the thing. I love my job. I make good money doing my job. I don't want to stop doing my job. I'm not driving myself into a rut or a dead end. In this case, it sounds to me like what's going on with Rich. He's got himself worked into a corner. He really is miserable. he's not making as much money as he used to. That's why he's degraded his content down to these stunts on stream, this awful behavior to try to make money from people who it's the only way he can make it. And now he's got himself in such a bad situation. Not only is he not making enough money to do menial things like get a babysitter or whatever, he can't quit. Because if he quits, no one's going to employ him. He's been out of the job market for over a decade.
And that's the thing is you do make good money doing this. And I think that's some of the criticism people have is they wish you had more of a prosperity mindset and an abundance mindset instead of a scarcity mindset of being worried about your bills and your costs, and instead be more grateful for the abundance and prosperity that you have.
And you know where that comes from? 4 years ago. I almost lost everything. I had to go through a bankruptcy in order to save everything. I was at the verge of losing everything. And there were weeks when literally if I didn't have a good stream, I can't even go out and afford the groceries this week. I can't pay this payment this week. And my mind has been endlessly stuck there because it's so dumb. You're right. If I have a day or 2 days where my streams are bad, I'm not going to go out of business and lose everything. I'm not. I publicly said that to everyone too. It's just that I'm so stuck in this rut mindset that, oh my God, I was there at one point. I don't want it to go back there, right? But for him, he's stuck. He can't do anything else. He literally isn't making enough.
Okay, but
he
here's
can't figure out how to save it.
Here's one thing that we have to remember. Okay, look, he has this channel that sure people will like troll him and hate him, and but he doesn't make videos anymore. He stopped. He wants to make music to 100 people only, whereas he should be posting every single day. If you're in this situation where you're in, like he's in right now, you make a video every day. It doesn't matter how many trolls are out there or anything. You post every single day, 3 videos a day. You stream every day. You figure it out. He won't even fucking work. He won't stream. He won't make videos. So if you don't do that, get a job.
That's the problem that I fucking have, because at least you fucking try. You're working hard. I have a problem when somebody refuses to put in the hours and then fucking cries and complains. That's when I have.
Well, this is the appropriate time at this point to basically what we need to do. I'm not going to take any chips out, all right, for this segment, because this is not even stuff that was in the documentary. This is supplemental information. But this is the time when we have to now, we're almost in the modern era. 2022 is where we are right now in the timeline, correct?
Yeah.
This is when, sadly, this was old, happy, rich, happy-go-lucky, making good content, you know, loved his life, loved his job, everyone liked him. And now what's happened is because of his bad choices and because of the things that have happened, he's now become sad, depressed, crying rich on every stream, which is why, let's be honest, why he eats edibles every stream. Because he doesn't want to be there. He hates this. And it's the only way he can make a living. So he's changed from someone who had a bright future and someone who had talent and someone who genuinely liked million sub YouTuber to someone who literally has worked himself into such a rut. He hates his life and he doesn't ever want to come to stream. So he has to eat edibles to even get there. That's where we are. And so that's the transition to the final chapters here of what we're going to be covering in this documentary, is that this is really who he is behind the mask, behind everything else. And it's sad. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. This is facts. People don't act like this and suck cucumbers and kiss cocks and do all this messed up stuff unless there's some serious problems going on up here.
Yeah.
And in here. And that's what's going on with this guy. And it's now a public circuit. And here's the thing. A lot of people, this happens to them when they hit their midlife crisis, right? A lot of people this happens to. The problem is he's been the one making fun of everyone for a decade. So now that it's happening to him and his miserable time is happening, right? I've always said this. For Rich, a day when someone has a bad day is his good day because he's going to make a ton of money on that, right? But now, Rich, every day is a bad day for you. So every day you're seeing what's happened in the last decade and how it's turned into what you created this situation with your actions, never learning. Why do you think I'm here? If you didn't make fun of me for the last 10 years, would I have done this? I wouldn't even care about you. I wouldn't even say a word about you. But instead, all of your karma has now turned back on you. And now we have crying Dickers who's about to felt out. And that's not good, man.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Great speech, Phil. That was
Let's
actually
go.
really
Let's
epic.
go.
Awesome from the king. Essentially, this is the end result of all of his laziness, his lack of work ethic, his bad mental health, the spiral that he's in. This is the end result of all of it. after his parents gifted him this house, what is he going to turn around and do? Let's hear.
Oh boy.
You know what? It is what it is, dude. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is.
Oh my
like,
God! Just
selling this
listen to
place.
him. You can't even.
Yeah.
He's not there. He's high as
It
hell.
is what it is.
Mentally, he's gone. He's so high. Jeez. And he's streaming. This is supposed to be content for
His
viewers
job.
to watch and contribute because they
job.
like, right?
What I'm probably gonna end up doing is like selling this place.
His
That
parents'
was always the
house.
plan anyway.
It's always the plan to sell his place.
Moving south and just streaming and chilling.
So what's
Wow,
happening
that's
to the
it.
parents? Where are they going to live? And
Yeah.
he's moving south.
Piece of
so
shit.
he's not going to see those kids because his ex-wife lives in New York.
I'm just not gonna say anything about it because again, I don't really know the truth of the situation. You guys speculate about it, that's fine. I don't go there. I'm not gonna. This guy has attacked me and my family before. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna be the bigger man here, and I'm gonna say whatever's going on there. I'm not well informed. I'm sad to hear it. I'm sad to hear that he's in a bad situation. He has to sell his house and all this stuff is going on. I almost had to lose everything I had. So I've been through it. I know how awful that is. I wish him the best. I really do. I say this too. I wish my enemies the best because if my enemies were doing well, they wouldn't be shitting on me. They would have something better to do with their lives, right? If you're affluent and everything's going good, you don't have to worry about making fun of Dark Side Phil all day. I wish him the best, but again, it seems like this is just karma. This is what has happened over a decade of bad behavior turns into the next bad thing and the next bad thing.
This is part of Phil's Catholic upbringing. Sit at my right hand, says the Lord, till I make your enemies your footstool. And indeed, for the king, it just seems like that's how it goes. He doesn't do anything. Those who are his enemies, they fall off a cliff of their own accord.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I've done nothing to this guy at all in 10 years, besides every once in a while comment back on stuff, and look what's happened. And I'm sorry, but this is a meme on the internet, is that Phil outlasts them all. But the ultimate thing about this is I don't have to lift a finger. You understand? When people are toxic, they're going to self-poison themselves to the point where they're eventually going to bottom out anyway. I don't have to waste my time and my effort and my life and my positivity on these people because eventually it's all going to come back to bite them anyway. I'm hands off.
Well,
and I'm the one who seems to still be going
this.
good.
I will say this: we do that, but we could get paid.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the documentary.
Let's go.
And recently, this is what I'm leading up to. I've been, because my time is still somewhat at a premium because things aren't fully settled yet. I've brought back news, kind of.
What Rich goes into is his exhaustion of covering surface-level news. He has grown tired of reading articles or glancing at similar media and filming an equally introspective piece, hardly expanding on the original flimsy work. Typically, a creator may make these changes because their views are suffering from lack of experimentation. Their content has grown stale, and in order to survive on the platform, something else must be created. This was not Rich's case. Even though he was uploading at a much slower rate than he had in the past couple of years, his views hardly suffered from his departure. This format is successful and easy to produce. But after over a decade of doing this, Rich has had enough and seeks to produce higher quality content.
I want to do more high production value stuff. I actually have stuff in the pike behind the scenes. I talk about it somewhat in live streams, but I don't want to bring it up here because when it's ready, it's ready.
But he brought
I've
it
learned
up.
to not overpromise.
I don't mean to bring it up, but I'm gonna bring.
I've learned not to overpromise and underdeliver, but that's exactly what you just did.
But this is be Netflix quality.
Oh yeah, it's Netflix quality. Oh, Phil, have you seen the Netflix quality?
No, I don't know yet. There we go.
Okay, all right.
Yo, Phil, I dare you to hit play on it and see how long you. I think everyone makes it 2 minutes before they hit stop. It's bad.
And underdeliver.
Rich is rather unspecific about his projects, but he does say he wants to create evergreen content, or videos that windows of interest are not dated. The fatal mistake was that he was killing his main channel by slowing down the legacy news content without testing any of this evergreen content to know if his format would even succeed. And then months went by. There was nothing but his typical uploads at a slower rate. But he did have another announcement, a shout out to a different project.
Upload to shout out my other music channel where I upload hip-hop records that I produce. God, I couldn't sound any more corny saying that, but no, I'm not kidding.
Rich's music channel, El Capo, is not popular. The rudimentary AI art would be off-putting to a typical...
popular.
To be fair, I have other projects like this React channel. I have a throwback channel. They're not that popular. They're really not. But they're more like passion projects. Like DSP Gaming is my main thing I put all my time into, and then once a week I do content on those other channels.
No,
Here he's like this is what he wants to do, right? And
it's bad.
You have to fill your plate first. You have to be able to provide first.
At least work on your main kit.
You can do your passion projects. But this is the thing: is most people will tell you, don't quit a job before you get a new one. Because how are you going to pay your bills? But that's the equivalent of what he did. He quit doing what was successful to do something he didn't know would succeed, and it hasn't paid dividends.
Right.
And then he wonders why he's in the situation he's in.
At least do both, you know?
User. Rich is spreading himself thin and is aimless. If he wanted to succeed and remain on the platform, he would not be doing this. At the very least, he will be creating the high production content he speaks so much of. The fact of the matter is, channels on YouTube can die as fast as they rise, and for Rich to throw away a surefire way to remain relevant or entertaining on the platform is dangerous. Not just for the money, but because, for the most part, he was in control. There is a space for Rich to continue to exist online without the need to create new videos, and that would be in the same vein as creators like Boogie2988 or Wings of Redemption. These are creators that have long lost their original supportive audiences and have them replaced with viewers who mock and troll them without end. These are known as lolcows, and Rich was quickly on the path to exist only as one, especially when entering needless feuds like he did with Does It Play at the end of 2023.
Oh, here we go.
This all started from this video.
At least, if you're lucky, you may just get an unfinished version of the game that might be playable but broken. A lot of times you get these games home.
Rich was making the argument that current day games are all released as a broken mess that require immediate patches in order to exist in a playable state.
True.
The same day of this video's release, Rich streamed and was challenged on this premise.
Does it play? Right here, they're real. And let me show you one else.
Does It Play is a website that tests whether games play in their unaltered state, meaning offline playability. Rich was now displeased with them because someone with 2 likes on Twitter challenged Rich on a statement about games being unplayable without patches. His major grievance was that Does It Play was one of those 2 likes.
Name a game Does It Play that you get from...
So the hubris of this is that Rich is going to challenge somebody on what their specialty is. All these people do is test whether a game works without a patch or not. That's what they do day in and day out for everything. But Rich is going to say that he knows better than them, and he's going to take it to an extreme where he gets humbled.
Okay.
From the store that there is not a multi-gigabyte update for. Go right now and get me one. That's from this current generation.
Rich, in his confidence, bet money that he was correct.
I'll pay them $2,000.
Whoa.
$2,000, get a game from the store, Does It Play, that doesn't require an update.
Rich added the circumstance that it had to be a
stupid. Like,
yes,
there's a game out
just
there.
So
you know?
arrogant, and he flew too close to the sun on this one.
There are games that okay. He's right in his argument that every single game you would buy today needs an update.
Yes.
However, he's incorrect in stating that every single game you buy today just won't play without the update. They'll play, they'll be pieces of shit, they'll crash, they'll have issues, but they will play, they'll boot, and you can play them, and they're just going to be so frustrating. That's why they need these ginormous day one patches. So his argument is very flawed.
But
and it becomes this very like semantic, silly argument, by the way, and it just Rich like makes it into a way bigger ordeal than it needs to be. Way bigger.
By the way, Nintendo games, go on the Switch. A lot of them are already done that you can update, but if you were offline,
that's right,
they're still playable from start to end.
You hit it on the head. It's case in point. Nintendo games usually are very playable. Yes, the patches help, but they're playable. He lost before he started with the argument.
This is where he gets in trouble. Is Nintendo games?
Is it really? Yeah. So, oh my god.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
But even so, his loss was set. Just a day later, Does It Play responded with Super Mario RPG. Rich was prompted to retort, now arguing that the game industry is full of important day one patches. But that was not the argument. Quickly, other creators jumped in,
changing.
correcting Rich. The responses were getting far more likes than Rich's own posts. As Rich kept tweeting, the responses were growing in numbers.
And Muda Heart comes in and is like,
virtually only against him. It was only on his stream later that night, after an hour debate from a guest arguing on behalf of Does It Play, Rich admits defeat.
So, here. On the 4th of each month, today's the 3rd, you'll pay $2,000.
So he sent them the $2,000. That's
Wow.
a literal feltoning. He's got to lose.
Yeah, that's got to be the end of the green stack.
He
That's
just
the end of the green
ran
stack.
his mouth.
I mean, holy crap.
$2,000.
That's so bad. And now we have
There you
only
go.
one stack left for poor Rich. The final stack here. We'll see how long that lasts. Oh, man.
Yep.
This is where it should have ended, but already Rich was tweeting about a big surprise video, ruining the surprise with another tweet stating, quote, "Meh, at Does It Play 1 was wrong about this. It's all good, the money went to a good cause," unquote. This was in response to Jay's tweet, claiming that Super Mario RPG does have a game-breaking bug. Seeing Rich's discontent in what should have been an already settled situation, Does It Play tweeted at Rich additional examples that fit his criteria.
Why is he...
Rich tweeting, quote, "Yeah, but you used the Mario RPG as an example to make me quote-unquote fork over the money.
Fork over.
And it has a..."
It was your offer.
The bet.
They didn't go, "You're going to pay me $2,000 if I can do this." It's you offered that, and they go, "Okay, well, here's this, and this example." By the way, you still didn't actually have to send them the money, but you were just so pressed and humiliated that you did it anyway.
It's like he has absolutely no ability to admit fault and let it stick. Instead, he admits fault, but then he always has to find a way to take it back later to save face. I mean, just recently, him saying that I basically don't have a family is one of the things he said about me. And then he got completely destroyed on his own stream when he looked up the definition of family, and it completely fit myself and my wife. And it, like, wait a minute, Rich, yeah, you have kids, but you're not married. I'm married. What makes it that one family is better than the other? And it, but did he, when he read that, oh, well, maybe this would fit the definition. But tomorrow he'll still say on his stream, Phil doesn't have a family. He'll still say it. Because he will not admit the fault. He'll stick and double down, triple down. That's his personality.
You know what's crazy? When you were like, "Oh, I got, uncles and aunts and cousins," and you're like naming out like, and then he's like, now he's moving the goalpost. Now apparently he's got uncles. It's like,
there was no goalpost. He created the goalpost when he said only children qualifies as a family unit. I didn't say that was the goalpost. He did. So, all right, you want to play? Oh, I'll play, buddy. I got all kinds of stuff I can pull out of my bag of tricks. It's just that I don't usually pay attention to you because you're very fucking annoying, and I don't like wasting my time on people like you. You know?
The game-breaking bug that Nintendo is putting out an emergency patch for. Hopefully, my funding can allow you to not make a crucial mistake like this again. Glad I got to support your cause." Unquote. Tweet after tweet, response after response, Rich only dug himself in deeper. What goodwill he regained by donating the promised money was quickly being lost, and then he posted the video addressing it.
Hello, everybody. I'm a proud Does It Play $2,000 financial supporter. And there are games that don't need updates, but the one they showed, they were wrong about, and that was Super Mario RPG.
Oh my God.
They said
Why
that,
is he
"Look,
doing
here's
this?"
a AAA game that doesn't need an update day one. It
By the
works
way,
right out of the
I think
box."
there was no,
Except for the fact that it has a game-breaking bug, Super Mario RPG.
No, but it can't.
The top comment of this video disputes Rich's statement about it
look at this.
being a game-breaking bug, as it is still very much completable without an update.
It's just a real
Even so,
sore
Does It
loser.
Play provided other examples that went unchallenged. For these reasons, all the top comments were against Rich. Quote, "Rich is way too into internet drama for a man his age.
Whoa.
As a longtime fan of your content, Rich, this video could have honestly stayed in the drafts. Been watching your videos for years. This is easily the most embarrassing thing you put out, and I'm saying that to a guy who gets high and takes his shirt off on stream." Unquote. The last comment was not even commentary on only this situation, it was on Rich as a whole. Rich's streams only seem to be poisoned by his gimmicks, like the frequent use of a soundboard that's mainly used for this applause sound.
So anyway, there's a new LolCow podcast. Starring me. Let me go piss real quick. I promise I won't spam the applause. I know I'm overdoing it.
Does It Play
Ultimate
ended up
cringe,
refunding
man.
Rich's
Ultimate
money without
cringe
his consent
soundboard.
announced by this tweet. Quote, unfortunately, due to reasons unknown to us, we have found ourselves in the middle of a bit of a social media drama we clearly shouldn't have engaged with. Unquote. This is how Rich's 2023 was ended. Even so, 2024 was off to a much worse start. Rich's channel wasn't just dying, it was also being prepared for a feast, with the predators he thought he was toying with lying in wait.
And if anyone is responsible for Phil pressing the eject button, it's you fucking weirdos. And it's not the whole detractor community. A lot of them like me. But there is a portion that despise me. Because you know what it is, Jay. Jay's watching, my editor. They have channels that are dedicated to Phil. What's going to be the topic now?
Rich has a history of talking about lolcows.
Like, yes, I talk about Phil in 90% of my streams.
In this situation, Rich is proposing that a consequence of an upcoming documentary on the infamous creator Darkside Phil by documentarian Mike Klum would be that the detractors of Phil will need to slow their production of content down or they discourage Phil from dropping the project. Engaging in this conversation with detractors of Phil is a terrible idea for a multitude of reasons. First is that as Rich criticizes Phil, it becomes apparent that many of his criticisms are also applicable to himself. Second, he is engaging and antagonizing trolls. Third, his channel is on a steep decline, with his typical viewers appearing less and less, and more trolls gaining interest in Rich. Their voices grow louder, and so does their control of him.
I know there's some people who exist, they hate Phil to an unhealthy degree. They're just as bad, if not worse, than Phil's dents. And they're like so caught up in their hatred of him, they don't even fucking realize it.
That watermark, Snort Mania, is from a troll channel that is known as Snort Hogan that mainly covers Darkside Phil. Now
There
Snort
you are,
Hogan
Phil.
has his talons sunk in on Rich, re-uploading Rich's stream segments that have him speaking on trolls. And though some of Rich's words ring true, they are being twisted intentionally.
Like, he's not doing the same thing. You know
I
what I
know, by
mean?
the inflammatory title of the video to both garner the attention of Rich and drive opposition towards him. And it worked.
I told you. I goddamn told you. And all of you cried like bitches. You're more of dents than Phil's dents. Cry. Cry hard, Snort Hogan. Cry hard, Cult of Hate. Keep crying because I was right and you were wrong.
That
Kiss
really
my
aged
fucking
well.
ring and bow before
Yeah, I know,
me,
right?
motherfuckers.
Rich in this video
Sad
was
fact
celebrating
is
that he
here,
was
now let's be honest, I don't do that. Like, I don't even know. I know they exist, right? When am I ever going to do, oh, f you, Snort Hogan, f you. That's the worst thing you could do because all you're doing, you're giving them the attention they want. And now they're after you even worse. I just ignore them. And that's the best part because if I ignore them, you know that's what makes them see the worst is that I just won't give them the time of day. It's not important enough to me to address these people. But for him, now, not only does he have his own trolls, time to pick a fight with Phil's trolls too, because I talk about Phil so much, might as well take on his troll. This guy is something else. He's a piece of work. I don't know.
correct that Phil did indeed cancel the Mike Klum documentary. But that wasn't particularly insightful, being that most saw this as the likely case anyways. What matters is that Rich was growing ever more restless and combative with the trolls. This clip alone would appear in every one of Snort Hogan's videos from now on, but this was only the start.
You lost how many subs?
I lost
lost
about
100?
200 people.
From what? And
Twitter.
Also,
The loss of his followers was likely from this Twitter space that he hosted.
The only thing I will admit, because I have to admit
I
when I'm
remember
wrong,
this.
is I overestimated that there was going to be a troll war. Okay, I'll take that L. But even down to the fact that the trolls blamed me, which I screen capped, for him canceling the Mike Klum documentary.
Rich was on a warpath.
So some of Phil's vented detractors have said to me, today is the day of God. How could you be so mean on the day of God? So I said to myself, you know what? I will say a prayer. Lord Jesus, please pray for these lost souls and tell them to come suck my dick.
You know,
detractor
being that blasphemous, and then he wonders why bad things happen to him and his family. Just saying, you know, like,
yeah.
Yikes.
Then detractors for giving me a healthy amount of good, solid content for Jay and I this evening.
So well, first off, I'm going to start off with an apology. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably thought that I have lost my mind over the past 24 hours. I have not. It was by design.
And now Rich was set in abandoning his channel's mainstay content altogether.
It has to die, Jay. The news has to die.
But why?
It gotta go away. There's no one that can convince me out of it this time.
In February, he restated his commitment.
It's not like it was just a total failure. It was still generating views and income. It's just not what he wanted to particularly do anymore. And it's like nobody after a really long time in their career necessarily wants to do the thing that they're doing every single day. I'm sure for a lot of people it gets stale, but you know what? They keep doing it because they have to provide for their family. But Rich is just too good for that. You know, he just doesn't want to do it anymore. Oh, I guess it's done.
Stating that he wants to make video game retrospectives.
I'm actually joined today by Jay. He's my editor, and those will be projects from, not to sound corny, from the heart. I don't want to hire outside script writers. I want it to be from us.
At this point in time, Rich has made more videos brainstorming what he wants to make than the actual videos he wants to make. This is never a good sign. And Jay, Rich's editor, saw what others did. And so Jay continued to try to convince him to keep doing the news videos. But Rich did not relent, and things went from bad to catastrophic.
Listen, I'll end it with this. My fat ass will go f***ing bankrupt getting the prettiest suit. I will go there with a smile on because you know what?
There is an absolute shitstorm coming out right now.
It'll destroy your reputation and I'll get publicity out of it because a giant pussy from Canada wanted to sue me because his feelings were hurt. Like, you come here.
As it was coming out, late February, Jay was no longer working for Rich, and his firing was far from amicable. 8-Bit Eric, a relatively small channel, was covering this situation as it was evolving in Jay's Discord. And just as Rich had done to Big Cheese, he was making Facebook posts cryptically talking about the situation.
From Richard on his Facebook, it says, I need to be able to afford my rent. Proceeds to buy parts to upgrade the gaming PC I gave him, and dude got paid by me on top of that. I guess money magically floated out of thin air. Miracles do happen. Man, oh man, get f***ed, my boy.
Rich deleted that post and apologized. But in that same apology, he still belittles Jay.
Richard comes out and says, you know what, I deleted the post. Instead of making a public shit show, may the best man win, and by best man I mean I'll win. I do better without parasites attached.
And by best man I mean me.
But this is a guy he knew for over a decade. This is a guy who helped start his career.
He was at the beginning of the video. This is the guy who he gave credit for, you know, his success early on.
Yes,
exactly. And this is the same guy who, when he had a family crisis and his daughter stepped up and did more work for him.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how he's anyway.
This was quickly gaining attention, and there are a lot of smaller supports that build up this falling out. Though it appeared sudden, there were a few reasons Rich was combative. On Rich's side, he was annoyed that Jay did not want to create shorts for Rich's streaming channel. The reason Jay refused was because of lack of direction in this request. Rich's streams are full of dead air and generally lack substance. To ask Jay to scrub multi-hour long streams for usable clips, it did not win him over. But that was while Jay was still employed. There were also
he said he would rather die.
Well, there are no clips because there is no content.
But Jay said he would rather die than do that, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
There is no content.
Elements around the firing, like that the firing came from a text message and that Jay was fired on his birthday. There was also the matter of the retainer. As Jay stated, they had a deal in the case that Jay was fired that he would be owed a full month's pay. Rich initially did not want to honor this.
I put this in place because he was a nightmare to work with and unreliable at times. When he was told that he would have to pay me this, he said I was extorting, and he paid me half, leaving me in shock. He then brought the PC, which wasn't a gift. It was meant for me to work on his show and bring in money for both of us.
Rich had very recently given Jay a PC, though it was clear that this was for work. Rich was using this as leverage to not commit to the payment he was promised. What's also interesting about this computer is that Rich cared so little about it initially that he was going to give it away to Darkside Phil.
So I'm literally still looking at the computer right now. Eventually, I have a friend, another friend up in Canada I'm going to give it to.
The reason Jay got the PC was because Darkside Phil refused it, possibly fearing that it may have spyware. This escalated well into
No, that's
March.
not true.
On
Oh, no,
March 5th, Jay
Joon, I
tweeted,
correct you.
quote,
That's not why I declined it. I declined it because I would not accept something from an asshole who treated me like shit for 10 years for a way to him to then justify all of that and be like, see, I was nice to him. That was exactly why he wanted to give that to me. I never accused him of having spyware on it whatsoever. That came out from other
It
sources.
just
and
so
stuff.
happened that it did have spyware on
Right.
it. Allegedly, according to Jay or whatever.
You know?
I demand
I
a
want
big
to say that-
correction in this video from Joon. I'm just kidding.
Yesterday, Rich sent me a bunch of really terrible audio messages that made it clear how he
Yeah, you
feels.
want me to times to this part right here?
Sure. Let's
Your
go to
chat was
time
saying so we
two.
can finish. So we can finish
Because
this.
I think most people are pretty familiar with
Everyone's
the
heard this
Jay drama.
800 times on LolCow, our show.
I am done. I can't deal with nonsense anymore. I've been worried
good
how this
idea,
would work for him. I
chat.
didn't want to have to say anything again, but I am done trying to help him. Unquote. In a different tweet, Jay stated that he wasn't going to read them, but to ask Rich to play them on his show. Jay then tweets that he's done with the situation once more.
Since it's out there, you know what, Jay? I'll play the messages. Do you realize how much damage you're not getting?
this is very,
You've gotten so much extra from me throughout the years.
There's not much substance in these initially private voice messages. They recap the drama and include some belittlement of Jay. However, Rich was furious that Jay exposed their existence, and now having paid Jay the money owed, he saw fit to go after him rather than let things die down. Here, Rich provides reasons why Jay was not the best employee, including the times he refused to make clips and shorts for the channel.
You got paid to basically sit on your ass. Now, there are times I've made you wait with my terrible time management, and I will own that. But again, you stayed. How many times did I give you extra shit, extra money?
Rich played his hand. This is all he had against Jay.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna block him and move on.
This was a lie. Though Rich lacked ammunition, he sought to continue the feud.
You're the sidekick everywhere you go. That's not jealousy saying that. When you used to sit there and sound like your balls were getting grabbed. JKB, back with another video. You couldn't cut it. That's why you became my editor. You got paid to basically sit on your ass. Now, there are times I've made you wait with my terrible time management.
Wow.
Now, dude, I admit all the fucking time when I'm wrong stuff. All the time. I eat crow all the time when I
If
fuck
he
up.
sat on his ass, then why did you pay him to begin with? Why did you work with him for over a decade if he just sat on his ass, right?
And again,
I mean,
his success was due to Jay helping him along the way. And then he says, you couldn't cut it on your own. Dude, he's helping a successful YouTuber. He was getting paid for it. Why would he have tried to cut off and be a super hyper successful guy on his own? He was happy with what he was doing, obviously. He wouldn't have been doing it for that long. He has no merit. His argument has zero merit right here.
Yeah.
Bidding it with this one. The heights I'm going to go to, because this is put fire under my ass like you wouldn't believe, are going to be incredible.
This drama was coming out during Rich's worst performing month this year so far. But Jay also wasn't done because he did a podcast breaking down what happened.
So let's get this straight. He said, I'm a parasite. Then he made a stream about it and said, I stand by what I said. And then days later, he apologized. He said, I shouldn't have done that. And now where are we at? I don't even know, because it's like being on a roller coaster that spins. I don't even know what direction we're in when he
Time number 10, he
comes
did
to what
that.
he's talking about.
You know, he does it all the time.
Yeah.
As poorly as Rich continued to handle this, there were moments where Jay prodded Rich, excusing these prods as jokes, like naming a channel called Review Tech Canada after being fired. This channel was removed after a day. Being that Rich has had various attractive channels that follow him intently that are spin-offs of his channel's name, this could be seen as a strike at Rich. There was also the firing on his birthday that, while accurate, was getting the criticism that he was victimizing himself.
And it was supposed to be like a public joke where people went, oh, he's Review Tech Canada for a day or whatever on his YouTube channel. I changed it literally for like 20 hours. My first stream was called I'm fired on my birthday, which is what technically happened. You know, it was a joke.
In the overall picture, it did not matter because Rich was far more aggressive and a dam was beginning to leak. As Rich previously brought forward all reasons why Jay should be disliked, users were finding more and more reasons why Rich should be felled. This was becoming a rabbit hole as one event was hooked to another, and slowly his controversial history was being dug up, like this podcast that did with Jay.
How many times did he bring up people hate him? You know, during the streams. Constantly. He, in the last, like, I'd say 6 months, if you go back, he was proud of the fact that people didn't like him. And when we would stream together, and this is something I never talked about, he had Ethan Ralph's ex-wife on the show, quote unquote.
This was an event that happened just 2 months ago in the period that Jay and Rich still streamed together, when the alleged ex-wife of the controversial creator was interviewed. Naturally, it was a troll that strung Rich along for nearly 30 minutes. The troll then linked the call to a different troll that Rich willingly accepted.
Did you ever see that time where because you kept mentioning the hard R before, did you ever see when he was talking about the hard R?
No.
Yes.
It meant something different when he said it.
Yeah, that was that the video you're talking
You
about?
know that hard R means, well, I don't want to say it, but.
Well, we said before.
Yeah,
like,
okay, so I can say it. Are you saying I can say it?
Yeah, you can say
You're
it.
giving me the pass? Hard R means.
The troll goes on to say the N-word, and Rich and Jay.
That was
Shout out Jesse PS Pod Awful.
Good Lord. Also, like being dumb enough to get trolled by Ralph as well.
Wow.
Like,
You know,
holy.
oh man, Jesse's like.
Fully understand the situation they were in. More
Yeah,
of
you
them
can say it.
and said that make Rich a fool would come to light if he continued this crusade. And it seemed that Rich was fully committed to do so as he announced he would be on the podcast Locale Live, but then walked it back soon after.
We're doing a video on my channel, and we're both going to be candid. We're going to be professional. We're going to be civil. No one's going to yell. Yeah, I'm not going to do the LoCal podcast. This is better. Not going to go on there.
This video did not come, and the truce lasted only 4 days. It was this tweet of Jay's that possibly reignited the flame, saying that he was going to do an interview with Darkside Phil, but it was going to be a positive one because he was sick of all the negativity. Rich sought to ruin this opportunity by exposing the time Jay talked negatively about Phil. Rich then went on to tweet that Jay tried to extort him over the phone, but being that it wasn't recorded, there is no existing proof. Jay then responded to Rich, and this soon became back and forth. Rich stated that his channel will outperform Jay's a year from now, and Jay responded by saying that Rich has a clear advantage, while adding that he will not recommend working for Rich. This ended with Jay calling
It's
Rich.
like the moment that you're involved, it's like,
I'm gonna do better.
This was
than you.
Jay said he was going to do an interview with me. Is that what they just
with
said?
you and be positive.
That never happened. It was what was going to be was a conversation between him and me, just a hangout session. Like I said, let's not talk about Rich because that's drama. that involves what's going on with you personally.
Yeah.
It'll be a cool hangout stream. We'll just talk about games. We'll talk about being creators, whatever you want to do. It was not supposed to be like an in-depth interview about anything. It was supposed to be like a casual conversation. And then I found out later he was saying to his followers and publicly, oh yeah, it's going to be an interview with DSP and all of this and all of that. So he was snaking me, basically. Trying to get attention for himself at the time, which I didn't know that's what was going on. And then he publicly said to his followers, he was not going to interview me. He decided against it. I was like, there was no interview. Like, we never scheduled an interview. It was just supposed to be a hangout. You know, what are you even talking about? So,
yeah.
Crazy X, and also calling him by a nickname, Dickie. Just like the fake ex-wife Rich interviewed, this was also a nugget into Rich's humiliating history. Specifically, this old video of Rich talking about one of his prior jobs where his strung-out coworker gave him a disparaging nickname.
He continues on and goes, even better. Even better.
So,
Dickers. You are Dickers!
Because of the surfacing of his nickname, Dickers is what detractors of Rich would derisively refer to him as. In retaliation to Jay's tweet, Rich finally went on the Locale Live podcast where he breaks
down. He does shout us out for that.
What I'm saying is, when I hear your point of view, I'm on your side. I would really like Jay to get here to hear Jay's point of view on this. But I would love him here too. Everything that I'm hearing, I have to side with Rich.
Though Keemstar points out that Jay was not present to deliver his point of view, he does side with Rich. And with Rich now feeling justified and victorious, he makes it abundantly clear that he's done with the Jay drama, even considering the times he said he was done before, to then only jump back in.
I am going to say to people, please refer to this, whatever episode this is. That's it. Like, I don't want to talk about him anymore. I don't want to. Like, I'm done. Like,
it would then drag on for months and months and months.
I'll just say what this part is, and then we'll continue just so we can finish this and have time for the part that I want to show.
This legit is the most boring part. Like, he argues with his editor, and they have a breakup, and now apparently they want to get back together and be friends again.
Yeah,
like, I don't really give a shit.
Did you hear today, Phil? Jay said that he sent Rich nudes of himself.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even want to know. I really don't even want to know at this point.
He sent Rich pictures of his sack and
no joke. No joke.
And it's like, are you guys lovers?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on over there? I don't know.
So basically what happens there is very simple, is a Rich was donating in Jay's chat, and Jay saw the email. That's all that happened there. And we all heard about the high quality video about 1,000 times. Here's the big part. You ready, boys?
Here's the best part.
Are you ready?
It's the Kino Casino
Here we
port.
go.
Yeah, you got your own segment. Here we go.
Yes, here we go.
Value. It still provided a decent amount of entertainment, just not in the way he anticipated.
Read this one, man. That's a great one.
That's awesome. I can see why you had an editor before, because this is a rough cut at best. And honestly, you being high out of your mind is extremely distracting.
That was from the Kino Casino live stream, segments of which are uploaded to the Clips channel on YouTube. As Rich's channel was dying, his own videos were fighting a losing battle against various channels tearing him down. Searching Review Tech USA now will return some of his videos, but mostly the Kino Casino clips and Snort Hogan's own videos.
I'm gonna call you Dickers. You!
He is called Dickers.
After this day, everyone called him Dickers.
From that point on, man.
Who found this? Bobby Babber, right?
I love the way that Joon's presenting us as just these guys who are just laughing, just total jokesters.
Fun and loving
it's such a great presentation of us. I'm so happy with it.
It makes us look really funny.
You're Dickers.
To be fair, I do laugh a lot.
Imagine telling this story of when you got pressed.
The dam finally broke all at once. The Kino Casino was resurfacing the Big Cheese drama. Rich's doxing, the new egg fiasco, the times his mother interrupted his stream, theories about his weight loss, his falling out with Jay, all of his history and more like his profile, even looking into when his Discord server had an NSFW section, and a user uploaded imagery that wasn't taken down.
He shows, hey, like 4 years ago, the mods were added about this and they swept up the lolicon. And he asks, why did you keep lolly on your public channel, Rich, for years?
Whoa. Additionally, there was this video of Rich shouting in a mall to win an online spat.
All right,
I saw this.
Spreading the breaking news.
Dude, who's the quartering?
Is a giant pussy in public. So here we go. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. I have breaking news. The quartering is a giant pussy.
My favorite part of all of that is like nobody even paid him the slightest bit of attention. They all just knew it was a worthless endeavor listening to him for even a second.
It's like, we just went through COVID. We're going through all this horrible inflation. The world's falling apart. Do I care about this fucking bald guy running through the mall talking about this guy? Like, what the fuck is your problem, man?
No one looked over. Yeah, like no one.
The Kino Casino was covering Rich's history and watching his live streams heavily during the month of April. As it turned out, Rich was watching them as well.
What's over? Wait.
So was he?
Did he have an open by accident? Yeah, we were playing his opening and we heard our opening in his opening.
Our opening, in his opening. So it confirmed he was watching. Today on Dicker's show, he says, I've never watched them ever. And then 20 seconds later in real time, he was debunked by Joon the King. He had it open by accident, and then our stream started playing.
No way!
Like our pre-stream.
That is her.
Yep.
He had her stream open, bro. You're right.
Wow.
The importance of this catch was that both Rich's stream and the Kino Casinos were live simultaneously. The Kino Casino dug up some minor drama and titled their stream Review Tech USA Exposed. Rich, likely seeing this, decided to address what he thought the drama was. A miscalculation that opened up a can of worms no one knew about but him.
All of a sudden, I'm looking in Dropbox, and if you have the Dropbox app, for those of you who are familiar, you see like the recent, whether it be apps or files that you've been using, and I'm like, why the f am I seeing pictures of my ex's other kids?
What Rich just admitted was that his Dropbox was recently hacked. The hack was of Canadian origin. Within that Dropbox were images of his ex's kids in bikinis, but it was set up in that way because they all had a shared account. Rich verifies the story by calling who he claims to be his ex-wife.
Quick question for you. As you're sleeping,
crazy.
Those pictures in my Dropbox, why are they there?
He calls his ex-wife while she's sleeping.
He doesn't even warn her that the call's coming on a stream, which is what a normal human would do, is say, hey, I want to defend myself. There's some heinous accusations against me. Can I call you at a normal hour? Can we do that? He just calls her out of the blue when she's in bed. Nice thing to do.
This was the craziest thing is he created these accusations. He said this, and then within an hour he was calling his wife about it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because my kids used to upload their phones.
And then he claimed for a while that I hacked his Dropbox, which I don't have that ability to hack. And then he said that his two-step burner phone vibrated after I hacked it.
And it fell into a Best Buy bag and approved the access.
And it approved the access to the Dropbox.
And the Arkham Asylum document was taped to the outside of the graphics card that he sent back as well. It's all very likely. Yes, of course.
Before they sold them, correct?
And he calls me an idiot at the same time calling me a master hacker. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Before they trade them back in.
Okay, that's all. Go back to sleep.
But this is a massive
As these streams are going on,
his part. Like, what an idiot, man. What an idiot. I think at this point, all the chips, basically.
Yeah.
Because this is the end, right? This is the final thing, the final part.
Pretty much it. When you consider the Jay situation, when you consider this situation where he tells on himself about bikini pictures of his stepdaughters.
Wow.
It's like, whoa, man.
It's really bad, dude.
So,
suddenly the pieces are falling.
Go ahead, keep playing, because I'm going to say
as to why Rich decided to come forward with the existence of these photos.
We had Rich exposed literally about something completely different, and he thought he was hacked. He was using a VPN that had Saint Sue Marie, apparently, or some shit, on the VPN, and he thought we went through his Dropbox.
How stupid is this guy?
I don't know.
There were many theories crafted that were not generous in explaining why those photos were on there. The facts are that in May 2024, Review Tech was at its lowest point in over 10 years. It is a dead channel.
Saying the least.
This is not drawn from its decline or speculation of its future.
Dead.
Review Tech USA is a dead channel because on May 21st, 2024, Rich posted this goodbye video.
I'm over what at least Review Tech USA was. I did this for over a decade. All right.
I
got to sit in front of a camera and be an idiot for a living.
Rich in this video also explained he had some personal, possibly family-related things he was dealing with last month. As for his channel, he reiterates that he is tired of the news and is giving up on it, but will post every now and then if something catches his interest. His efforts going forward will be in live streaming and his music production, but it was not even an entire 24 hours later that he posted another news video. Here he excuses his immediate comeback as a contractual obligation for a sponsor. None of the top comments are discussing the subject of the video, but rather
ended up being bullshit. We saw the dates on when he made the ad and when he made the video quitting, and it didn't line up. Like he took the ad after he quit.
Rich's short-lived goodbye. This is not the first time this happened. Even barring all the videos Rich has made stating that he is seeking to make a different form of content, in 2022, in response to YouTube's inaction of Quantum TV, Rich tweeted he is, quote, officially retiring from making conventional videos on Review Tech USA. YouTube has made it abundantly clear that my kind of content either has to be heavily censored or is no longer welcome on the platform, unquote. This did not last and he returned. And as of June 2024, Rich and Jay have made up once again. Review Tech USA is hovering around 300,000 views for the past 30 days. It has been abandoned. Though Rich can still be found on his streaming channel RTU Streams, where he streams intoxicated. Like all creators that stream, his audience is drawn closer to him, therefore increasing the interactions between him and his building detractor base. Everything in the past 10 years has been building up to this moment. From Rich's controversial past that serves as a base for the hate, to the killing of his channel which provides discovery to detractor channels, and the tragedies in his personal life that have skyrocketed his anxiety, which has him responding both impulsively and angrily. Rich has now completed his transition, not to how he wanted to see himself as a respected content creator that creates long-form passion projects that are beloved, but as the laughingstock that constantly shifts in his intentions, how he views his relationships, and how he sees his future. That is hard to see as anything but grim.
It's over.
Wow. Sad story, man.
All right. This is it. This is the true finale. Okay? Right now. Because what we have here is the final stack of chips for Rich. And what we have to do is we have to break it down and we have to say, for every time that Rich sucked a cucumber for money, for every time that Rich kissed a cock for money, for every time that Rich took his shirt off like a lol cow, but then made fun of other people for being lol cows. There you go. We're going to take a ginormous amount of chips away from him. For you guys, exposing him for what he really was and finally allowing the internet to see who he was all along. He was 1 million subs insulated from the ire of the internet, and you guys single-handedly, with your exposing all his controversies, turned that around and let the internet see who he really is for who he is. So that's your stack right there, and that's actually the biggest chunk I've taken out of any stack tonight because you deserve it, guys.
Huge support.
Thank you.
We have this left.
Yes.
We have this left. The finale.
Okay.
Joon the King. Not only making this documentary, but destroying Rich on Twitter for being a liar and hypocrite about doxing, and then today also calling him out for stuff, you know. There you go. That is Joon the King's stack.
And saying he was felted in his tweet after the video was done.
Right. Exactly right. So at this point, after all of tonight, Rich literally has, I'm going to show this to you, 1 chip left. This is what Rich has left in his life. Now, here's the thing. I would like to say I am a person who believes that people can improve and change for the better, that people can learn from their mistakes. And maybe after having watched not only this documentary by Joon the King, but hearing someone like me talk about this tonight, I'm trying to help this man, okay? I want him to get better. I want things to be better for his family. I want him to make good content. He has 1 chip left, and he has a chance to turn his life around. But he has to become a better person, and he hasn't. We just saw in that entire thing. He makes the same mistakes. He never admits fault. He always has the same problems. Unless you change who you are, you will never improve and get out of this rut, Rich. I know you can't be employed. Otherwise, that's why you're still doing YouTube. You hate it. That's why you look like this. But you have to change as a person. Can you do it? Can you stop every day making yourself the victim, eating the edibles to feel better and doing these awful things? Or can you finally say, you know what? I'm going to fess up. I'm going to apologize for the awful person I've been for the last decade. I'm going to stop making these mistakes and I'm going to move forward positively. Can you do that? Whoa. Oh, wait. Oh, one final thing. for 10 years of you fucking with me and making my life miserable for your personal gain, I'm taking your final chip as the king's tax, you motherfucker.
Yeah!
You're fucking felted, bitch. Felted. You're done. Because the thing is, even if I left you this fucking chip, you wouldn't improve your life. You had the chance. You never took an opportunity to improve. You insulated yourself from any criticism, but now you've been exposed. You're done. This is my chip, and I'm going to wear this proudly in my fucking background from now on because I earned it.
He earned it. God, what an incredible place to end our reaction event. Great monologue from Darkside Phil, the king, taking that final chip as the king's tax. Awesome. So I had a lot of fun.
It was great, man, and we have to do it again. Like, soon we'll have you on our show.
Yes.
Let's play some games sometimes. The interview with Medicare will plan out sometime.
Sure.
We'll have some fun. It's great reacting with you. You know what I mean, man? It is fun, and the chat loves it.
The chat's going crazy. This is the most viewed stream I've ever done on YouTube. No surprise, right? I mean, why wouldn't it be? It's not the usual kind of content I do. And again, please remember, everyone, this is all in good fun. This is not serious.
Of course,
please don't go after Rich or his family members or anyone. We have to end with that because with great power comes great responsibility. We have a lot of views tonight. Please be nice. I feel like he has a chance to maybe turn his life around in reality, but I don't know if he really will. But thank you for being here tonight on DSP Reacts, for watching. You guys, you were amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. I mean, obviously, this is one of the best streams I've ever done for many different reasons, obviously. And yeah, I absolutely, I mean, everyone loves it. I definitely look forward to doing more stuff with you guys in the future.
For sure, man. Definitely. And guys, our clip channel, Kino Casino Clips, go check it out. Us on Kick. It's great seeing you all here. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right. And so, for DSP Reacts, for Kino Casino, for everyone, thank you all. You were a great audience tonight. I appreciate you all coming out and hanging out with us. And I wish you all the best. And, try not to get felted. That's all I have to say, man. You gotta.
Don't get felted.
Don't
Thanks a
get
lot.
felted.
Peace.